$29, or 2.5 gallons of diesel exhaust fluid, everyday low priced at $6.99. And if you happen to find a lower price, we'll match it. Any day, every day. Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life at the best prices guaranteed.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Traffic is sponsored by Two Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Swing and a miss! Went back to old reliable. San Francisco Bay.
The Brewers are back at the Bay to take on the Giants. Our coverage begins tonight at 8:10. We are your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 3 o'clock. I'm John Mercure. It's September 11th. Your top story, remembering the horrors and heroism of the 9/11 attacks. Julia Fellows here also. Early voting begins today as well.
43 backing up from before Hampton Avenue all the way down towards Capitol Drive. We've also got southbound 41 heavy from just before Silver Spring down to Capitol. Westbound 94 slowing down from 16th all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound is a little bit backed up from 84th Street to about Hawley Road. Then it opens up. You're okay into the Marquette. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, clear skies, a low of 62. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, warm, hazy, a high of 83. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the nation remembers 9/11 today, 23 years after the attacks. Chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff, General C.Q. Brown, says the day began as any other day at the Pentagon.
There are many accounts of people running back into the burning rubble, pulling people to safety, only to go back in and save more. Leaders who guided their teammates to safety, navigating the hot ash and smoke. Others had to be restrained by security to stop them from going back in once again.
Today's anniversary also brings to mind one of the most iconic moments ever to happen at Lambeau Field.
Packers player Chris Gizzy, a military veteran, running out onto Lambeau Field on Monday Night Football, waving a big old American flag.
That game, it sticks with me forever.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News.
I'll never forget the cascade of emotions throughout that place of trying to get back to some normalcy, and everybody was in it together. It was a really powerful night at Lambeau.
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Signs of patriotism.
The first general election ballots for the presidential race are going out today.
Alabama has begun mailing ballots to absentee voters for the November 5th election, beating North Carolina, which was supposed to begin sending theirs out last Friday. That was delayed because of the need to remove Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s name. Absentee ballots are the only way to vote besides going to the polls on Election Day in Alabama, with strict conditions. The first in-person voting for the fall election will begin next week in a handful of states. Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
Decision Wisconsin, a slight boost for Vice President Kamala Harris in the latest Marquette University Law School poll released today.
The poll shows Harris with a 52-48 lead among likely voters. When factoring third-party candidates, including Robert Kennedy Jr., Harris leads 47-43 among registered voters. In the race for U.S. Senate, incumbent Tammy Baldwin holds a tight lead over challenger Eric Hovde, 52-47 among likely voters. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
The results are within a margin of error of about 4.5 percentage points.
Coming up, students give back to an important staff member.
Starting Unlimited, WTMJ News Time 3:04.
This report is sponsored by Connect Chiropractic, connecting you to true health. Located in Wauwatosa and Delafield.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Add a chiropractic screening to your kid's back-to-school checklist. Reed came to Connect Chiro at just 9 years old. Sleep issues, headaches, getting sick all the time. I talked with his mom. He's now getting better sleep, better attendance at school, better health since she put her son in the care of Dr. Alex Young and his team. Great for kids because these docs use a special tool for all the adjustments. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. In Delafield and Wauwatosa, go Connect Chiro. That's goconnectchiro.com.
Looking for a totally rad flavor adventure, brochachos? Look no further than Surfer Boy Pizza as seen in Stranger Things. Each mouth-watering variety contains rich tomato sauce, delicious mozzarella cheese, and a gnarly range of toppings. The crust is crispy on the outside and airy on the inside. You'll think it was hand-tossed by the Surfer Boy Pizza dudes themselves. Look for it in the freezer aisle at your local store and buckle up your taste buds with Surfer Boy Pizza.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever. Overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:06.
Many high school students don't give a second thought to their school's janitors, but CBS News reporter Christopher Cruz says that isn't the case with all of them.
One day a year ago, a group of freshmen at James Madison High School in Vienna, Virginia, asked their favorite custodian, Francis, what he wanted for his birthday. He quickly answered, a Jeep Wrangler. It wasn't an idle question on the student's part. They really wanted to get him something, although a car was probably more than they'd bargained for. But 6 months later, they got together and began their campaign to raise money. They quickly got to $5,000, and by last weekend, they had $20,000. That was enough to get Francis a cherry red Jeep Wrangler.
Today is a wonderful day in my life, and I will never forget it.
Francis said it shows the students respect people no matter what they do for work.
Whether old, whether young, whoever, you have to give the due respect.
Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. Sports Desk. The Brewers' magic number to clinch the NL Central Division is 9 after last night's win over the Giants. Crew looks to make it 2 in a row. Out west tonight, Game 2 of their 3-game series. Coverage begins at 8:10 on WTMJ.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time 3:08.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love, their passion.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. That mission extends beyond their customers and communities to their employees. Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 15 years in a row. In fact, they were named the #1 midsize employer in the region and earned special recognition for the company's overall direction. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Did you watch that debate last night?
Oh, yeah.
Me too, every second of it. Interesting stuff for sure. Lots of fallout today. We will get to the debate coming up a little bit later on in the show, and we will also reflect on the anniversary of 9/11 coming up a little bit later on in the show. But first,
this is the 3 at 3 on Wisconsin's Afternoon News.
This first story makes me genuinely sad. Paul Farrow is the Waukesha County executive, and Paul Farrow making an announcement today that he's been diagnosed with a rare form of cancer.
I'm going to be facing a journey like many people have. Unfortunately, mine will be a little more public because of the position. I'm still going to be at the desk. I'm still going to be working as hard as I can. My appearance may be changing a little bit, but the attitude won't.
Paul Farrell's one of the good guys. He is a very decent man. He's a good public servant. He's been doing this for a very long time. He says he's optimistic. And you heard there, he's already started chemotherapy. Paul Farrell will join us in the studio live tomorrow, coming up at, I think it's 4:45 tomorrow.
He is such a good person.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Such a good person. I got to know him during the RNC, and my thoughts and prayers are definitely with him. Marathoner stripped a Paralympic medal after helping her guide, who began to cramp at the finish line.
What?
So a Spanish finisher, she finished third in the Paralympics, okay? She is visually impaired, so she had a guide. You are not supposed to let go of the tether.
Oh.
Her guide struggled at the end and got a cramp. So you can see, like, in the photo.
Oh, yeah.
He's falling. So she lets go of the tether to help him. Because, in the middle of a marathon.
Yeah, right. Of course.
So the Spanish athlete, 36, Elena Congost, was told, "You're out. That's it."
No, rules are rules. You're out.
And she's 36 years old. She had been doing this for years, getting ready for it. And it just took that one moment. And she said, what are you going to do? If someone's falling right next to you, are you just going to let them fall? I have to keep holding onto it while they're on the ground?
Right. Oh, that's sad.
So
that's very sad.
She lost her medal. Those are the rules.
The third thing of the 3 at 3 is something we're doing for the next week or so. We're raising money to preserve the legacy of Bayview native Lance Saijan. You're going to hear a lot about him in the next week or so. Vietnam fighter pilot, Medal of Honor recipient. Shortly before going to Vietnam, where he crashed, was tortured, etc., Lance confided in a buddy about the danger he would be facing in his fighter jet. This is his sister, Janine. That is not Janine. That is the wrong soundbite. I'm not sure how I put that in there. But here's the deal. So Lance, before he went to Vietnam, told his close buddy, I feel like something really bad might happen to me. I feel like I might crash. I feel like if that happens, I will not be captured. I will not let it happen. So he went to Vietnam, and sure enough, he was shot down. He evaded capture in the jungle for 46 days, despite being severely injured. He eventually was caught and tortured. He died in a Vietnamese prison. So Lance Saijan's legacy is here in Milwaukee. A replica of his F-4 jet is at the airport, and it's in disrepair. Serious need of painting and restoration. We're asking you to help us protect his memory. We're raising money to restore the jet, and we need your help. For more information about his story and to make a donation, you can text the word Lance, L-A-N-C-E, text the word Lance to 855-616-1620. Won't you help us? Get more information, see some pictures, text the word Lance, please, to 855-616-1620.
You interviewed so many people, too, that we're going to hear from throughout the week of this Bayview High School graduate.
His sister, who's been kind of the keeper of his legacy. You'll hear from her coming up actually a little bit later on in the show. And I interviewed one of the POWs who was held in Vietnam in a prison for 5 years and was with Lance during Lance's last days. He doesn't really do many interviews, but I spoke to him, and you'll hear that as well. To help us, please text the word Lance to 855-616-1620.
I've seen that plane so many times.
Yeah, right. We go past it. I never even really knew what it was all about.
What we're going to learn a lot more.
Yeah, we are. Debbie helps get you home up next right here on WTMJ.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice.
I love my dogs. They're like children in our house. And, a lot like kids, those dogs don't always listen or do what they're supposed to. My dogs are better now because Sit Means Sit dog training has given me the tools and techniques to be a better dog owner. Bella and Baxter probably always wanted to be good dogs, but I wasn't doing a good job. Now they are better dogs. Sit Means Sit dog training. They've got the best methods in the business. They're going to help you. They're going to turn things around. You too can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. I know. Sit Means Sit dog training helped us out big time. Start like we did with a free consultation. SitMeansSitWaukesha.com. Check out that website. It's SitMeansSitWaukesha.com.
Time is running out on the Brewers regular season. Hurry up and catch the crew battle the Diamondbacks September 20th through the 22nd for College Night and a Brewers Puppy Vest giveaway on the 21st. Get your seats now at brewers.com/tickets.
For WTMJ contest rules, visit WTMJ.com/contests.
Loyalty, family. Few things are more important. This is WTMJ Steve Scafidi. Yet another strong storm rolled through Oak Creek in South Milwaukee, causing actual damage at my house. Thankfully, I knew exactly what to do. I called my friends Jeff and Jake at Loyal Family Renovations, and Jeff came by to assess the damage. If your home has suffered storm damage, don't leave it up to the out-of-towners. Loyal Family is family-owned, and the loyalty belongs to their customers. Contact them today for a free damage inspection, and they'll help make your home remodeling dreams a reality. LoyalFamilyRenovations.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the amazing Mineshaft Restaurant in downtown Hartford.
The successful Mineshaft Restaurant in Hartford is hiring positive, professional servers, bartenders, and pizza cooks. You'll make real cash. Inquire today and start next week. MineshaftRestaurant.com.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga. Hello. Good afternoon, Deb.
Hello. Yeah, we start off with a little bit of an issue westbound 894. Right about at Forest Home, we've got a crash that's blocking the left lane. So that is making for kind of a hefty delay anyway, coming out of the Mitchell interchange all the way to Forest Home. So keep that in mind. Westbound 94 backed up out of the Marquette all towards Mitchell Boulevard. Eastbound, just a couple of pockets of heavy traffic. One right past 76th Street, another one coming out of the Stadium interchange. And southbound 43, pretty hefty delays basically from Silver Spring all the way down to about Capitol Drive, and then a little bit heavier through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast for tonight, mostly clear, low of 62 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny, warm, hazy, a high of 83. On Friday, cloudy, a high of 79. Saturday, cloudy, a high of 78. Sunday, chance for rain, a high of 78 degrees. It's currently sunny and 80.
Where were you when the world stopped turning on that September day? Teaching a class full of innocent children, or driving down some cold interstate. Did you feel guilty cause you're a survivor?
23 years ago, 9/11, 23 years ago. That's hard to believe. It's just hard to believe. So we were reflecting on where we were 23 years ago when this happened. So for me, I remember it like it was yesterday, and I think everybody can probably say that. I was at Channel 4, and I was an investigative reporter, and I was getting ready that morning. I came in early, and I was going down to Rockford, Illinois with a photographer, and we were chasing a city worker who was claiming workers' comp and was really on the golf course. So we were going to go down and try to track down this bad guy, and we were going to, in TV lingo, crack him on the golf course when he got done golfing and confront him. So I come in, and it's like 7:45, 8 o'clock in the morning. And I come in, and my news director is there already. He was always there early, and he looked at me and said, Mercure, what are you doing today? And I had been listening to music on the way into work. I was unaware of anything going on. And I said, I'm going down to Rockford to chase down this guy. And he goes, no, you're not. I said, but what do you mean? Yeah, I'm all set. You know, Andy's coming in to meet me, and we're going down to... And he pointed to the TVs, and in every newsroom, there's big banks of TVs everywhere. And on the TVs up there, TV after TV after TV after TV was the World Trade Center with flames coming out of it and smoke coming out of it and a big hole in it. And he said the second plane, so I guess it was later than 7:45, maybe 8, I don't know, a little after 8. He said the second plane's just flown into the World Trade Center. It looks like something really bad's happening. The United States is under attack. You're not going to Rockford. You're going to the airport. So why am I going to the airport? He said, you're going to the airport and you're going to stay there until all the planes coming from New York have arrived here. And until all the planes that are scheduled to go to New York, we can talk to all those people. And so I was basically at the airport for like 4 days. I literally slept at the airport. And
oh, my goodness.
That was my 9/11. And then my other little part of 9/11, my girls were in, I think, 3rd grade, and they came home from school, and we didn't know if the girls had heard anything. So we're like, oh, my gosh, do we bring up 9/11? Well, it ends up that one of the girls, I think Kiara, said, hey, Dad, there's a note for you in an envelope from school. So he said, how was school? Real generic questions as we get the note out. And the note said, hey, we have not told your kids about what happened in New York. They're young, and we wanted to leave it up to you how you wanted to handle that. So then we sat the girls down, and we kind of gently explained to a 3rd grader what had happened in New York. And
that was difficult for children. You know, my cousin was so young, she thought that every time she saw the plane go in, that it was happening in real time. Couldn't comprehend it as from a child's lens. So it's really sad. Brandon, can you share your story? Because yours is way more powerful than mine.
Sure. Yeah, I was in 6th grade. I remember, it's so weird because I remember literally everything about that day. I was telling you guys earlier, I remember what the weather was like. It was beautiful, like perfect day, like skies, clear blue, just a fantastic day. I remember walking to school. I went to school in St. Francis. I remember walking into Miss Crawl's class at Willow Glen. She was kind of in a hurry, doing some things at her desk, and I asked her how she was, and she says, a plane just crashed in to the building. And, as 6th grader, you're just, it kind of goes in one ear and out the other, like, hopefully everybody's okay, nothing happened, nothing major. And then everybody got to their desks and huddled in and asked to be quiet, and they wheeled TVs into our classroom. And I vividly remember the headline. I don't remember what network it exactly was, but I remember the headline saying America under attack. And we watched as that second plane struck the tower. And I remember at each teacher I had that day, they were speechless. They couldn't say anything. They couldn't do anything. We were motionless. I mean, we just stood there. And even as a 6th grader, you understand that that's not supposed to happen. And we knew even in 6th grade that our lives were forever going to be changed, and they sure were. And then I remember going home, and this is when we used to walk to and from school, and I would walk home, and after watching what I watched all day, I got about halfway to my house. My mom came flying out of the front door. She came around the corner and ran and met us halfway to where we were walking, and she just squeezed onto us. And I get emotional because it sticks with you. And I told her that day, I was like, I'm going to join the Army. I'm going to go fight whoever did this to our country. And I was in 6th grade. She patted me on the back and she says, all right, let's just get in the house, make sure everything's okay. And sure enough, I think most people that listen to the show know a few years later, I was in Afghanistan and Iraq. And
wow.
I know.
It
gives me goosebumps.
Yeah, it was powerful. And I'll never forget it. And it's such a somber day, and it's tragic. And it definitely changed my life from in 6th grade. As a 6th grader, my life was never the same.
Yeah. Thank you for your service, by the way.
That's an incredible story.
Where were you? Do you remember?
In between the ages of you guys, I was a junior in high school, and I was decorating my friend. Her birth date's September 11th. So I was decorating her locker, and we had late arrival. And all of these teachers were running past me and then trying to act normal, like, hi. And then I get home, I'm listening to the Howard Stern show, and Howard Stern's not on. It's like local news. So I'm like, what's going on? And my dad
You listened to Howard Stern as a junior in high school?
Yeah. And then I listened to it, and so I'm confused. My dad runs in, and he goes, we're under attack. And he's like, look at this. So I go into his bedroom, and I can see his TV, and that's when the second plane hit. And then he's on the phone with the school trying to find out, is school still going on? And then he goes, oh, my God, the building's falling. And then the woman who's in the front office of my school starts crying on the phone with my dad. My dad just hung up on her. So everybody knows what happened after that. And then we don't know where Flight 93 is.
Yep.
And then it hit another building in Washington, D.C. It was very confusing, terrifying. So that's my memory. And I think it did change my trajectory in life with really appreciating news and getting real-time information. We were glued to everything going on, and I found a new appreciation for journalism and finding out what's going on.
Deb, what do you remember about 9/11? Your 9/11?
I was working. I was reporting traffic on KTI, and I remember I was collecting the traffic information, and someone said a plane went into a building, and I thought a Cessna. I thought like a single engine type of thing. And then all of a sudden, all of our TVs in the newsroom changed over, and that's all you saw was this plane going into the building. And we're like, wow, everybody was like basically shocked. We were trying to keep up with all the traffic reports because we were doing all of Milwaukee. And the next thing, I'm watching the TV, and I see the second plane go in, and I go, guys, that says live in the corner. They're like, what? I said, no, it says live. It's another plane. And then if you've ever seen a newsroom go into action, it's like a snap, a silence for like a second and a half, and everyone's like, boosh. They all go off to their phones. They're all running around going, okay, you do this, you do that, blah, 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 blah. So everybody was just like running around. We sent people to the airport. We sent people to the Red Cross. We sent all sorts of stuff because people were donating blood. And it was just chilling, the whole thing. All throughout this whole time, I was sitting there going, what's my dad going to do? Because he was in Japan. And he was stuck in Japan for about a week, I think. Because obviously they closed all the flights down. He did get home okay, but that was, I believe that might have been his last business trip that he did. Wow. So that was pretty chilling, and I'd never been in a newsroom like that when like breaking news like that happens before. I have been since some other breaking news things happened, but that was my first exposure to that. So that was kind of like an eye-opener going, okay, what do you want me to do?
That's such a good point, Julia. You and I have been in a lot of newsrooms, in a lot of breaking news situations, and it's why I love this business. I love this show when there's breaking news. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people get kind of freaked out. Like, I love it. I love it when you're telling the story, you're on the front lines, you're letting people know what's going on, and you don't even know exactly what's
and I have I definitely have an appreciation for it because of this.
It is 3:26 at WTMJ. By the way, Debbie referenced what it sounded like on the radio or what was going on. We're going to play what it sounded like on WTMJ a little bit later on in the show. It's pretty remarkable stuff. We'll share that with you later on. First news about your money. Ended up a good day. Everything was in the red early on and ended in the green. Kind of a remarkable day, actually. The Dow was up 124 points. The NASDAQ, boom, it jumped 370. And the S&P was up 58 points. Annex Wealth Management know the difference.
Get the help you need Saturday morning with How To Radio. At 7, it's the WTMJ Fix-It Show with David Nason, featuring this week's guest, Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. At 9, plan your dream vacation with the Fox World Travel Show. At 10, get financial guidance during Money Talk. Contact Annex Wealth Management for an unbiased review of your investments at annexwealth.com. How To Radio, Saturday mornings on WTMJ.
This is Senior Real Estate Specialist Bruce Nemovitz of Bruce's team. We're honored to help seniors and their families traverse the journey of selling their longtime homes and moving to the lifestyle they deserve. With over 35 years of experience, Bruce's team is here to help take you from overwhelmed to I can do this. Get started today and call 262-242-6177 or visit brucesteam.com.
Landworks, Wisconsin. They're going to take big-time care of your yard. Joe and his team, they've been in my yard this week, just making sure everything's good, and they're tweaking it all. You know, it's a great time to think about having Landworks come out, from stunning fall displays and holiday decorating to dormant pruning and bed cleanups. Dormant pruning. They're doing my dormant pruning coming up in a couple of months. You know, I always ask, when can I cut that back? When do I trim that? They know at Landworks, Wisconsin, and they'll do it for you. They're going to come out and do it at our house coming up soon. Big project, small project at Landworks, Wisconsin. They'll do your project no matter what the size, with enthusiasm and the best solutions. They stand the test of time. It's Landworks, Wisconsin. Get with them today. I trust them. Commercial and residential. LandworksWisconsin.com.
Hi everyone, Jeff Levering here, and when we moved into our home 10 years ago, we knew the time would come to replace our roof. That came sooner than we thought with the storms during the spring. So we called the pros at Ridgetop Exteriors, and they did more than just live up to their motto, trusted, local, and affordable. Within just a few weeks, we had our new roof picked and completed. Their team treated us just like family, and the customer service was a real home run. Give Ridgetop Exteriors a call and book your appointment today to ensure your project gets completed before the next big storm.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano for Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin. Injuries happen, but you don't have to play in pain or stay on the sidelines. Whether it's your kids dealing with a sports injury, college athletes, or the rest of us weekend warriors, the experts at Orthopedic Associates of Wisconsin will quickly diagnose your problem, lay out a treatment plan that works for you, and get you back in the game. They fixed my knee. My mother-in-law is back on the dance floor with a new hip. These are the experts you can trust. Visit orthowisconsin.com.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, you can always find the best brands at the best prices. But for a limited time only, we're offering our lowest prices of the year throughout the store. Like 18-gallon Holmes brand storage totes, just $5.99. Men's work and sport heavyweight pocket tees, $10.99 each. 25% off assorted Laren loading ramps and ramp kits. And all Rain-X wiper blades, buy one, get one 75% off. Don't miss your chance to get our lowest prices of the year, only at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Quick question. How are you feeling in 2024? You're not alone if you're feeling stressed about your investment and retirement planning. There's inflation, market volatility, global unrest, and a presidential election that's going to have a huge impact on many levels. There's a lot going on, which might lead to anxiety and planning paralysis. How about this? Take control with help from Annex Wealth Management. Build a plan that matches up with you, your family, and your investment and retirement goals. Even better, Annex does it as a fee-only fiduciary with unbiased advice. We don't sell a thing. Annex offers financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth is a great fit for most, especially when approaching retirement. For those with high net worth and complex planning challenges, consider the Annex Private Client Experience. And if you're just starting out, Annex Ignite might be the right fit. Head to AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button. It only takes a couple of minutes. It's time to put things in order and lower the stress and anxiety. Know the difference with a fee-only fiduciary. That's Annex Wealth Management, AnnexWealth.com.
Any exterior remodeling company can give you a lot of good reasons to get a new roof, siding, windows and doors, or masonry work. Aesthetic appeal alone or just resale value help it all make sense. But I'm compelled to continue to tell you what sets Semper Fi apart from the rest. What you're going to get from Semper Fi is a reputation that is backed by an undeniable stack of proof that we are who we say we are. Our character is guided by a level of trust and accountability which not only holds our teams together, but also keeps our reputation intact. And ultimately, that means leaving you satisfied. So when you're about to make that big investment in your home, isn't that what you want? This is Brad Youngluth with Semper Fi Roofing and Exteriors, your local, veteran-owned and operated exterior remodeling company. For your new roof, siding, window and door installation, or masonry work, you can count on Semper Fi to keep you safe, warm, and dry.
We keep you safe, warm, and dry, Semper Fi.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
I'm John Mercure, your top story, remembering the victims of the 9/11 attacks 23 years later.
I'm Julia Fellow. A Waukesha leader shares his diagnosis.
I'm Debbie Lazaga, and it's looking nasty on westbound 894, basically from the Mitchell Interchange solid all the way to Forest Home. There is an accident right about at Forest Home with the left lane blocked. That leaves you only one lane to get through because of the construction. So just keep that in mind if you're going to be heading through that area. It's going to be a pretty nasty ride. Otherwise, westbound 94 out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard, southbound on 43. Silver Spring down to Capitol Drive going to be heavy, and southbound 41 slowing down from just before Appleton Avenue down to Capitol. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight will be mostly clear, a low of 62. Tomorrow, warm and hazy, a high of 83. The current temperature right now in Milwaukee is 80 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Wisconsinites are remembering the 2,977 innocent lives lost on September 11, 2001. At Milwaukee's War Memorial Center, Mayor Cavalier Johnson says 23 years later, the unity seen in America in the aftermath of the attacks has yet to be duplicated.
People enlisted, people served, people came together all across this country. There was a unity, the likes of which we really haven't seen since.
Other 9/11 remembrances across Wisconsin today include in Kewaskum, Oconomowoc, and Stratford.
Waukesha County Executive Paul Farrow just announced today he's been diagnosed with a rare type of cancer.
I'm going to be facing a journey like many people have. Unfortunately, mine will be a little more public because of the position. I'm still going to be at the desk. I'm still going to be working as hard as I can. My appearance may be changing a little bit, but the attitude won't.
Farrow received the diagnosis a few weeks ago. He said in the video statement that you just heard, undergoing multiple medical examination, has already started chemotherapy. He plans on staying in office while receiving the treatment, and tomorrow at 4:45, he will join us in studio to talk about this.
Additional school resource officers are in place after school threats in Appleton. The Appleton Police Department was alerted to a vague threat made on Snapchat Tuesday about 6:30. The threat involved North High School but did not specify whether it was targeting Appleton North or Oshkosh North. Appleton officers are investigating the source of the message.
A lawsuit alleges Kettle Moraine School Board has violated updates to Title IX by taking no action to protect trans and non-binary students. The lawsuit states a transgender student in August board meeting asked that gender identity be included in the non-discrimination policy. The meeting did not include any formal action on that matter. During a previous meeting in July, the vice president said that those who want updates to Title IX must go through the legal process.
If other sectors of America want a Title IX, then that needs to be passed through Congress like Title IX was. And that is by the will of the American people.
The district is not yet listed by the Office for Civil Rights as currently under investigation.
The case against a Wisconsin teenager accused of luring a 10-year-old girl into the woods and killing her will remain in adult court. Court documents only identify the teen as CPB. He's charged with first-degree intentional homicide and 2 counts of sexual assault in the 2022 death of Lily Peters in Chippewa Falls. CPB was 14 years old at the time. The ruling means the teen's identity could eventually be revealed to the public.
It's been more than 4 years since Jacob Blake was partially paralyzed after being shot by a police officer in Kenosha. How is the Kenosha community doing today? The mayor tells Spanning the State trust is on the right track.
Trust is earned, and you only get that by investing time and energy in talking to people and keeping the communication lines open so that if there is something that happens, it's not when it does happen and we reach out, it's not the first time we've connected. And I think we've done a great job of doing that.
The city also has new personnel for positions like police chief and at the county level for sheriff and county executive.
Franklin police are warning residents about the TikTok door knock challenge after 2 incidents in the city. The challenge involves people banging on or kicking doors in the middle of the night, then running away. Franklin police remind people it's disorderly conduct. They're increasing neighborhood patrols to help residents feel more secure.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brew Crew looked to make it 2 in a row out in a Game 2 of 3-game series against the Giants. Coverage begins at 8:10 right here on WTMJ.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:37.
This report is sponsored by Connect Chiropractic, connecting you to true health. Located in Wauwatosa and Delafield.
Vince Vitrano here for Connect Chiropractic. Add a chiropractic screening to your kid's back-to-school checklist. Reed came to Connect Chiro at just 9 years old. Sleep issues, headaches, getting sick all the time. I talked with his mom. He's now getting better sleep, better attendance at school, better health since she put her son in the care of Dr. Alex Young and his team. Great for kids because these docs use a special tool for all the adjustments. No twisting, no cracking, no popping. In Delafield and Wauwatosa, go Connect Chiro. That's goconnectchiro.com.
At Fleet Farm, we're proud to offer everything you need for everyday life. We're even prouder to offer it at the best prices guaranteed. Like Sprout Sweet Mix for livestock, on sale for $9.29. Or 2.5 gallons of diesel exhaust fluid, everyday low priced at $6.99. And if you happen to find a lower price, we'll match it. Any day, every day. Fleet Farm's got everything you need for everyday life at the best prices guaranteed.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Uncle Sam put your name at the top of his list, and the Statue of Liberty started shaking her fist.
Man, when Toby Keith passed away, that was a very, very sad day. Big loss for America. Lance Sijon. I want to tell you about a guy named Lance Sijon. He graduated from Bayview High School, where he was the real deal. All-conference football player, president of his class. Then he went on to the Air Force Academy. He graduated from the Air Force Academy. Went on to Vietnam. Was a fighter pilot in the Vietnam War. It was on a cold, dark day in the middle of the war. His 52nd combat mission became Lance Sijon's last. His sister told me about his struggles for survival following that crash. November 9th, 1967, Bayview's Lance Sijon's mission goes terribly wrong. His F-4 crashes in the jungle, smashing into the canopy and then the floor of that jungle. He's knocked unconscious, severely injured. A compound fracture, a fractured skull, a mangled wrist, unable to move virtually at all.
For 46 days, Lance crawled through the jungle on his backside. No food, no water, no medical attention.
The elements and the animals attacked him relentlessly.
When he would awake, he would be covered by leeches, which were then attracting the rats, which began to devour his body.
After 46 days, he passed out on a road after emerging from the jungle and was finally captured.
6'2", 220-pound Lance was so emaciated that he was 60 pounds, and 80% of his body was open flesh.
He was taken to a bamboo prison in the middle of the jungle. They left him there unguarded because they thought he was so severely wounded that he was no threat to leave. He had other plans.
And in that condition, Lance motioned with a hand motion for the guard to come down closer to Lance's mouth so that he could whisper something. When the guard came down, Lance knocked him out with a karate chop, and he pulled himself backward back into the jungle. It took a village a half a day to find Lance.
Recaptured, he refused to answer their questions, refused to give in on the code of conduct.
Lance kept saying, I can't tell you anything. It's against the code. I can't tell you anything.
Lance was beaten mercilessly, beatings that would continue the rest of his short life. Lance Saijan was beat to death in that Vietnamese prison, the same prison, by the way, where John McCain was held. John McCain said Lance Saijan was our greatest American hero. McCain said that.
Wow.
So Lance Saijan dies. He receives the Medal of Honor 7 years after he passes away. His family gets it. And part of his legacy now is that replica of his fighter jet at our airport. It's right there. It stands proud on Howell Avenue. But it needs to be painted. It needs to be repaired. There are critters that are getting in there. It's just not standing the test of time. We owe it to him to protect and preserve his legacy. So we're raising money to restore the airplane. If you'd like to contribute to help restore our hero's plane and legacy, please text the word Lance, and we're going to give you all the information, and you can make a contribution right there. Whether it's $10 or $100 or more, whatever you can do to help us restore our hero's airplane. Text the word Lance to 855-616-1620. 855-616-1620. That's Lance. You get the story, the pictures, in a way that you can contribute. Please text the word Lance to 855-616-1620.
And what will be repaired on this replica?
They're going to put up some screening to keep the animals and the birds out.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to repaint it. It needs to be repainted to look like it did back in the day because it's been sitting out in the weather for all that time. And the lights on it, the afterburners on the airplane actually light up at night, and so do some of the other lights, and they just need to be refreshed. But we just need to preserve it because preserving the plane is really preserving his memory.
Yeah, and this is something his family worked really hard on.
Yeah, I mean, his
It's really
sister,
nice.
you heard her there, his sister is still here.
I know.
She's the one that
That's
spearheads all
wonderful.
of this. Text the word Lance to 855-616-1620.
Creative Planning presents Rethink Your Money with John Higginson, Saturday afternoon at 2. Join John each week as he challenges financial advice you've been given and reaffirms what you know to be true. If your financial plan doesn't include taxes, insurance, estate planning, and investing, it's incomplete and you can't afford to miss out. At Creative Planning, we provide all the expertise, all the advice you need, all in-house. To learn more, visit creativeplanning.com/radio.
Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin is the real deal. How about baseball season, right? How about those Brewers? Magic game, I think, magic number is 9. They're about to win the division. If there was a division for window and door companies, Pella would be in first place. They win all the time. It's easy. You know why they win at Pella? They want you to win. Everything's custom made. A window for every home and budget, patio doors for every home and budget. Check out the Experience Center. Check out the product. Check out the way they do business. I love Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Gina Della leads teams that care about you, care about your house, care about making sure that you are taken care of. PellaWI.com, that is the website. Check out this deal right now. As low as $18 per window, $81 per patio door per month. That's what you pay each month. That's it. $18 per window, $81 for each patio door. It's that simple. PellaWI.com. They are the real deal. Hurry up. Offer ends the end of the month. Visit PellaWI.com today.
I'm Kamala Harris. Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. And I believe we can make that happen.
Kamala Harris's plan? Bring down costs by cracking down on corporate price gougers. Make homeownership more affordable for families. A middle-class tax cut for 100 million Americans. And make sure billionaires and big corporations pay their fair share so you can keep more of the money you've earned.
Instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future. and how we make it better for families like yours. I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
Serta Pro Painters, the best in the business. How do I know? WTMJ's John Mercure here because they painted the exterior of our house. They do exteriors big time. They've got the best people. They've got the best products. They also do interior painting. Schedule your free estimate online. It's easy at CertaPro.com. That's Serta with a C. They'll take great care of you. My home's my happy place, and it's never looked better. Each Serta Pro Painter's business is independently owned and operated right here. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose Serta Pro Painters.
Traffic is sponsored by Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Personalized furniture the way you want it in just 35 days. Shop the Labor Day event in Norwalk Custom Furniture at any Ken Michaels Furniture stores. Showrooms in Greenfield and Brookfield.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look outside with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb, how are the roads?
Hey there. Yeah, they're a little bit backed up. Our issue on westbound 894 at Forest Home has been cleared. So now we just have the rest of the delay is working themselves out of the Mitchell interchange pretty much all the way actually to 84th Street if you want to get technical. Southbound 4394 right at Beecher. We've got the left lane blocked with a new crash. This is backing things up through the Marquette. Delay stretching all the way back to Fond du Lac Avenue. A little heavy as well from Silver Spring down to Capitol. Southbound on 41 backing up from before Appleton Avenue down to Capitol Drive. And westbound 94. A pretty heavy ride out of the Marquette all the way to about Hawley Road. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight, mostly clear, low of 62. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, warm, hazy, a high of 83. Friday, mostly cloudy, high clouds. Filtered sunshine, high of 79. Saturday, mostly cloudy, a high of 78. Sunday, there's a chance of showers. Will be mostly cloudy, though, throughout the weekend, a high of 78 degrees. Current temperature in Milwaukee is 80 degrees.
Fact-checking last night's presidential debate. That's what everybody's doing. They're checking the facts and looking at the polls to see how Americans felt about the debate. Ann Flaherty, senior national policy reporter for ABC News, is with us from Washington, and she was one of the lead reporters on the fact-checking team for ABC. Ann, thank you so much for being with us.
Hey, happy to be here.
Hey, Ann, we're going to play a couple clips for you and then ask you to kind of comment or let us know what you think about what the facts showed about some of these. They're some of the bigger ones, so we know you're familiar with them. Let's start with, Julia, what do we want to start with?
What everybody's talking about, the comment by former President Donald Trump about Haitian immigrants who have poured into Springfield, Ohio. Take a listen.
A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country, and it's a shame.
Okay, let's fact check that.
Yeah, that's actually starting with an easy one because we've reached out to the city manager of the Springfield, Ohio town who says there's absolutely no evidence of that. This appears to have originated. There was an arrest of a woman in a mental health crisis who had mutilated a cat or some sort of animal. She was not in Springfield, Ohio. But most importantly, she was also not an immigrant. She was not from Haiti, as he suggested, and there was no connection whatsoever. So this was a woman who was born in Ohio. This was part of his rhetoric that he was trying to make the case that immigrants are destroying people's hometowns. And of course, I think for many people, he obviously went too far with what is a blatant falsehood.
Here's another one, something that everyone kept bringing up when John and I were at the DNC and covering it. And then it was brought up by Vice President Kamala Harris last night. Project 2025. Take a listen.
What you're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing if he were elected again.
Number one, I have nothing to do, as you know, and as she knows better than anyone, I have nothing to do with Project 2025. That's out there. I haven't read it. I don't want to read it purposely. I'm not going to read it. This was a group of people that got together. They came up with some ideas, I guess some good, some bad, but it makes no difference. I have nothing to do. Everybody knows I'm an open book. Everybody knows what I'm going to do.
I don't know. Maybe it's just perspective, Ann, with this one. But from what I was hearing at the DNC, a lot of the people who wrote that Trump once employed and had an administration.
That is true. The one thing I would point out is that, nobody knows what Trump is going to do or who he's going to employ in his next term if he was elected, because he doesn't like to talk about it. He does not like to be pinned down on specifics. And I think, I will say a lot of politicians are taking a page from him, that the more you put out there, sometimes the more you get attacked on. What I will say on Project 2025, this is a project that was spearheaded by the Heritage Foundation, which is a conservative group. He praised the group. He appeared to endorse it back in April, but he has since disavowed himself from it. I believe him when he says he hasn't read it. He probably does not want to deal with details that he could be attacked on ahead of this election.
ABC's Ann Flaherty with us with the ABC team that fact-checked last night's debate. Ann, are there a couple that really stand out to you?
Certainly ABC got a little bit of heat from conservative Twitter, people saying, oh, look, they're not fact-checking Kamala Harris in real time, and this is what I would say about that. It's a lot easier to fact-check somebody that says, Haitian immigrants are eating people's pets, because that's categorically false. It's untrue. What Kamala Harris does is she's a bit more seasoned politician who can leave out context, twist the facts a little bit. She did say, she really tried to go after him on abortion, said he's going to sign a federal abortion ban. We know he said repeatedly he won't do that. She's also said that there's no active duty service members in combat zones. I think that would be news to U.S. service members. All of that who are in Iraq and Syria, all of that is a little bit tougher. We were in the, our Slack channels and looking at how this was unfolding and really pinging each other and saying, wait, is that true? Is that true? And as much work as we tried to do up front before the debate even started, a lot of it you have to chase down and try to untangle. And it can be tough to do in real time.
All right, let's play another one or two, Julia. What else do you want to play for Ann?
Okay, this was one that CBS News was saying that Kamala Harris was not exactly accurate about. So it kept being brought up. She was talking about the proposed tariffs that Trump wants to make on other countries. It would cost the middle class. Take a listen.
My opponent has a plan that I call the Trump's sales tax, which would be a 20% tax on everyday goods that you rely on to get through the month. Economists have said that Trump sales tax would actually result for middle-class families in about $4,000 more a year.
So I think that, Anne, is what you're kind of underlining. It's little numbers like that where economists, according to CBS News Major Garrett, when he was doing a fact check, he said it's maybe $1,600 more, or it could be $3,000. Some analysts have said maybe $4,000, but you have to really know exactly what he's going to do. So that's why there's
exactly. Yeah, that's exactly it. I mean, when you're talking about tariffs on imports from China, China's not going to they're going to pass that cost off on to U.S. consumers. And so that's why the precise impact on families is really hard to predict. But estimates are, ranging from $1,700 to nearly $4,000, according to a recent study. But yeah, again, this is a perfect example of something that, she might be overstating it, but there are concerns about Trump's economic plan to go after to try to generate funds using tariffs.
ABC's Ann Flaherty is with us. Ann, is there a way to quantify who lied the most?
I wouldn't even want to do that, I think, if I was given the opportunity, because, certain facts in people's minds weigh more than others. I was speaking with a conservative radio station that was just really losing their mind that she had said that the bit about Charlottesville and, he had called people both sides. And that's another nuance to fact check that you can go down a rabbit hole on. And you really have to look at the transcript of that. This is tough stuff. And it really depends on what matters to you as a voter. How much are you focused on the economy versus abortion rights versus, the Afghanistan withdrawal? All of that stuff is going to play in the minds of voters in different ways. What I can say is what we tried to do at ABC News was just take each individual statement and say, well, we know that that's not true. We know we didn't leave behind $85 billion worth of equipment in Afghanistan. It is closer to $7 billion, including a lot of night vision goggles. We did leave behind night vision goggles in Afghanistan. So a lot of things exaggerated, but it's really tough to try to put any sort of metric on that.
That's a good way to put it, though.
Yeah.
Like whatever you're really focused on, maybe
The view is different from each person's seat.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, I think that's exactly it.
I just wanted to say really quick, it seems like they all exaggerate, right? They all stretch the truth. They all, in live TV for an hour and a half, maybe don't get something right. But are there different sorts of lies or distortions or mistruths? I mean, some, you alluded to this earlier, are very easy to check, are very basic, and others are more opinion.
Yeah, I think about the two fact checks that we did in real time because they were just easy to do. They were very obvious with, eating pets. And then also Lindsay Davis at one point pointed out that when Trump was talking about Democrats want to allow women to kill and doctors to kill babies after they've been born, that's obviously not true. There's no state where killing a born child is legal. I think that the rhetoric around immigration can tend to be a little bit more dangerous when you're attacking an ethnic group. I think that deserves a little bit more scrutiny because it can put people at risk. So, there is a Haitian community in Springfield, Ohio, and we're not talking about that. And these are real people with families and lives, and now they've become subject to memes. So I do think that there is a danger in that, and we have to be very careful about how we talk about that.
Ann Flaherty, Senior National Policy Reporter at ABC News. Interesting stuff, Ann. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
It is 3:56 at WTMJ. Let's check those business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Milwaukee World Festival Incorporated plans to enhance the amphitheater at Henry Meyer Festival Park. The organization is working on a list of potential upgrades, but has not yet provided specifics or a timeline for the work that will be done on the venue. The Versity Blood Research Institute plans to start construction on its $79 million expansion later this month in Wauwatosa. The 79,000 square foot addition to Versity's existing facility will provide more lab space and is expected to create 100 new jobs in the next 5 to 7 years. USA Wrestling awards its Junior National Dual Meet Championships to Milwaukee. This is the first time that Wisconsin has hosted the event, which will be held at the Baird Center for the next 4 years, from 2025 to 2028. The event features competition in freestyle and Greco-Roman matches. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee. From the Annex Wealth Management Studios, this is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Sponsored by the Pfister Hotel. Make your reservations today. Visit thepfisterhotel.com.
For over 130 years, the Pfister Hotel in downtown Milwaukee has been delighting guests with impeccable service and luxurious accommodations. Celebrate your next special occasion with a stay at the Pfister. Enjoy fine dining at its acclaimed restaurants and pamper yourself with a service from the Wells Spa and Salon. Experience the hotel's afternoon tea program or take in live music with the best views of the city from Blue, the 23rd floor cocktail lounge. Make your reservations today at thepfisterhotel.com.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 128-ounce selected varieties Blue Ribbon Pails, $4.99 with coupon. 3 to 6 count selected varieties M&M's, Snickers, Dove, or Twix Novelties, $3.99. 4 count selected varieties Dannon Multi-Pack Yogurt, 2 for $8. 64-ounce selected varieties Old Orchard Juice, 2 for $5.
I am starving.
Oh, no. Never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, oh, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against San Francisco November 24th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
I'm shopping at Century alone next time.
Enter by November 6th.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Flanner's Home Entertainment. Does the audio and video system in your home need an upgrade? Well, Flanner's has all the solutions and the installation experts to simplify and upgrade your home entertainment experience. Forget about the impersonable big box stores and risky online purchases. You go with locally owned Flanner's, where quality service, the best brands, and guaranteed best price remain top priorities. Stop by Flanner's in West Dallas, Grafton, or at Flanners.com. Sound advice at the best price. Just press play.
When you need to sell quickly, choose Grandview to buy your home. Don't worry about real estate agents or showings. We'll buy your home as is, no repairs or cleanouts needed, and you'll get an offer in hours. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
Traffic is sponsored by Annex Wealth Management. It's time to know the difference, and Annex Wealth Management is ready to help with investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning as a fee-only fiduciary partner. AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button.
Swing and a miss! Went back to old reliable. San Francisco Bay.
The Brewers are back at the Bay to take on the Giants. Our coverage begins tonight at 8:10. We are your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 4:01. I'm John Mercure. Your top story commemorating a somber anniversary.
I'm Julia Fellow. Who's ahead in the presidential race in Wisconsin? We have the latest poll now.
I'm Debbie Laziga, southbound on 4394, right about at Beecher. We've got a crash off, and it's blocking the left lane. So watch out for the delays all the way back through the Marquette, all the way up to North Avenue, as a matter of fact. Northbound 4394, we've got some debris off on the left shoulder. Looks like it's some tire debris right about at Holt Avenue. So as you're coming out of the Plainfield curve, you're going to start to see some slowing through that area. Southbound 41, slowing from Good Hope Road down to Capitol Drive, and westbound 94, heavy ride out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Laziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, clear skies, a low of 61. Tomorrow, sunny, hazy, a high of 87. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, 23 years after the attacks of September 11th, events across Wisconsin remembering the lives lost that day and recognizing the service of those who responded in the aftermath.
A theme of unity at the remembrance event held today at Milwaukee's War Memorial Center.
Today, as we remember those who we lost, I want us to also remember the spirit of unity that emerged from that day and the bond that we all share.
There's more that brings us together in this country than separates us.
Alderman Scott Spiker tells WTMJ the lessons in unity learned after 9/11 are quite applicable in an election year.
Once this election is over, there's going to be a great opportunity to come together. If you don't seize that opportunity, you do disservice to the memory of those who died 23 years ago.
At the War Memorial Center in Milwaukee, Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
Pop star Taylor Swift officially endorsing Vice President Kamala Harris in this year's election. News Nation's Nicole Burley.
Saying in part, quote, "I will be casting my vote for Kamala Harris and Tim Walz in the 2024 presidential election." Swift's endorsement comes after the former president shared an AI-generated image a handful of weeks back, alleging the pop star was endorsing him for president, something Swift called the dangers of spreading misinformation, which made her want to be transparent about her actual plans as a voter.
Decision Wisconsin, a slight boost for Vice President Kamala Harris in the latest Marquette University Law School poll.
The poll shows Harris with a 52-48 lead among likely voters. When factoring third-party candidates, including Robert Kennedy Jr., Harris leads 47-43 among registered voters. In the race for U.S. Senate, incumbent Tammy Baldwin holds a tight lead over challenger Eric Hovde, 52-47 among likely voters. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
Important to point out that the poll was conducted completely before last night's debate.
A body of a missing scuba diver recovered from a shipwreck. 72-year-old Patrick Kelly of Winthrop Harbor, Illinois, was diving around the shipwreck of the SS Wisconsin yesterday. He was approximately 6 miles off the village of Pleasant Prairie coastline. He didn't resurface, and his wife called 911. Coast Guard came in to help. His body was recovered this morning about 125 feet below the surface of Lake Michigan in the area of SS Wisconsin.
The lines are still long to get chicken fingers in Brookfield at the latest Raising Cane's to open in Wisconsin. Regional Vice President of the chain, Kevin Ryan.
We're looking
looking to get Eau Claire open up in the next few months here. Janesville probably within the next 6 months, and then La Crosse will be towards next year.
The Brookfield location is the fourth to open in Wisconsin.
Coming up, another retail giant enters the food wars.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:04.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
Does your home need a new defensive coach? Have wind, cold, or water breached? I recommend Siding Unlimited. Wind and cold get through your windows? Siding Unlimited fixes that. Water challenging your roof? Siding Unlimited fixes that too. Is the siding letting the elements through or just looking offensive? Fixing that is Siding Unlimited's first and continuing specialty. When weather's offense beats your home's defense, contact Siding Unlimited. Their name says siding, but they are so much more. Whatever the breach, put Siding Unlimited in. Their good work is on display at their unique outside-in showroom. They're waiting for you. What are you waiting for? SidingUnlimited.com.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here. It's your knee that's bugging you, right? Or is it your back? For some of us, it's the hips. Achy joints with pain you can't get over. Well, there is a way to fix it. There is a way to get lasting pain relief using your own body's healing properties. It's all thanks to QC Kinetics, advanced regenerative medicine. QC Kinetics can help enhance your joints, improve mobility, and get back to doing all the fun things you like to do without pain. No surgery, no painkillers, and no downtime. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in using cellular therapies. If you want to learn more, the consultations are free. You can set up an appointment at QC Kinetics. They have clinics in Mequon and in Greenfield. Here's the number, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call now and get lasting joint pain relief with the help from QC Kinetics. 414-285-3474.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:06.
A retail giant entering the food wars. ABC's Ryan and Allie has a story.
Amazon is revealing a new food brand called Amazon Savor, which will include pantry staples, produce, and protein. Most of the products priced under $5. It comes after Walmart and Target announced their own price cuts in recent months, and as the biggest proposed supermarket merger in U.S. history between Kroger and Albertsons. Aldi is also adding to the competition. The discount grocery chain says it's adding 13,000 workers while boosting its average hourly rate to $23.
Most Amazon Savor items will be priced under $5.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Brewers' magic number to clinch the NL Central is 9 after last night's win over the Giants. Looking to make it 2 in a row tonight in Game 2 of that series. Coverage begins at 8:10 on WTMJ.
Siding Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:07.
This report sponsored by Fox World Travel. Go, Fox, go. Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi with an announcement about my next WTMJ listener trip. Love these. Fox World Travel has crafted a fantastic itinerary which has special significance for me and you. We'll be visiting the country of my people, yes, Sicily. And to make it even more interesting, we're adding the country of Malta. It's called Sicily and Malta Mosaic, and it's happening in October of 2025 next year. Sicily is a fascinating island with an interesting and unique history. We'll see ancient ruins, charming old towns, sparkling coastlines, archaeological sites, and Europe's tallest active volcano, Mount Etna. And then bonus, we'll head to beautiful Malta, one of the smallest and friendliest countries in the world. My wife Kathy and I would love to have you join us on this special WTMJ listener trip. We've done it before. They're always fun. Join us. To get more information or make a reservation, visit foxworldtravel.com or call 866-GO-FOX-GO. Don't miss out on the early booking discount. Sicily and Malta Mosaic. Call today.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, thanks for hanging out with us on this Wednesday. We're joined in the studio by two of our favorite people, Tori Lowe and Liz Brown. Tori Lowe's show is on from 1 to 4 on 101.7 The Truth. Thank you so much for being with us, you guys.
Thank y'all for
Thanks
having
for
us.
having us.
So we're talking a little bit today about it being the anniversary of 9/11. It's one of those moments where you just remember where you are. Fortunately, we don't have a lot of those moments.
Right. Yeah.
We wanted to hear from you guys. We've been asking everybody. 9/11. I'll start with you, Tori, and then to you, Liz. Tori, what do you remember about 9/11, where you were, what you were doing?
I remember being in Iowa. I went through my rock band phase, and I was at the band house. And,
Wait, what's a band house?
The band house is
that like where you lived? What?
Well, I'm gonna be general because I don't think I could tell you all the stuff about the band house. But this is where all of the members of the band live, and we travel from there.
Okay, gotcha.
And I was on the couch, and all I remember is one of my, he was a roadie, and he was like, "Look at this, Tori." And I opened my eyes and I looked on the TV, and the plane had already hit the first tower. It was already going on. And at the time, we didn't know exactly what was going on. And as it developed, we realized it was a huge idea that we were under attack, that the building started to fall. And I was sitting there in disbelief, like, is the world coming to an end? We watched it live and watching it fall, and it was on camera, and it was just so horrific. And all the people's reactions, it was just a horrible sight to see. And the fire department, the police officers that were killed in that, trying to help the people. It was just a lot going on during that time, and my heart went out to everybody that was affected negatively from the situation.
Yeah, it was surreal. There's no doubt. All right, Liz, what do you remember about 9/11? Hard to believe it's been 23 years.
Right. I was at Omega Restaurant, and there was this big, loud scream. They have the TVs inside there, but a woman was just screaming because one of her family members was actually flying. She was in I don't know if it was a she or he, but her family member was in a plane, and she was just, praying and stuff like that. So
in the plane that crashed, or was on a plane?
Just on a plane
And she
headed
didn't know,
there, and she didn't know.
Okay.
Yeah,
So
I
she
mean,
was
if you had a family member
screaming,
flying that
and
day.
because she
Yeah.
didn't know what plane it was, and I mean, it was a big thing, and everybody rushed, to a TV, and we was at all like, watching this happen, like on live TV, and it was devastating.
And they kept saying it was a terrorist attack.
Yeah.
We didn't know if this was like a wave of war that was being waged. We didn't know anything at that time. But like I said, it was one of those traumatizing memories that if you really was around to see it happen, you automatically remember that day.
You remember where you
and
were,
what you were doing.
what it
And then-
smelled like, what it looked like, everything.
23 years later, there's the 9/11 memorial, and what everybody's talking about today is that Trump and Harris saw each other again.
And they shook hands.
They shook hands.
Yeah.
They were civilized.
Right.
It looked like Bloomberg tapped Kamala because she was talking to
Yeah.
Schumer, and then they said hello.
So, for me, the scariest part was, remember, and I was in a TV newsroom, when we didn't know if there were more planes, and there were all these reports. Could one be going to the White House or the Capitol?
Pentagon.
The Pentagon.
Yeah, and then the Pentagon got hit by a plane.
Right.
So one ended up crashing in the field in Pennsylvania. They took down that plane. Remember, they said, let's
Correct.
roll. And they stormed the cockpit. They said, we're not going to let it hit Washington, D.C. I wear one bracelet all the time, and it's from Flight 93. And this is the plane that crashed in Pennsylvania.
Oh, wow.
I think the bravest Americans
Yes, they were.
in a non-combat situation in the history of our
Yes.
country were those people that said, we know we're
Yes.
probably going to die. We're breaking down that
Exactly.
cockpit door.
Yes.
We're gonna make sure that we don't hit something else.
That's right. We might hit the ground,
Yes.
but we're not going to slam this plane into something.
Oh, and I'm getting chills because
It's remarkable.
Powerful.
Thanks for sharing those memories.
Thanks for
That's
asking
interesting
us.
stuff.
We love you
condolences
guys.
to everybody
Me
that
too.
was affected by 9/11.
Yes.
America strong.
You got that right. Tori and Liz Brown, Tori Lowe, 1017 The Truth. Thank you.
God bless you.
413 at WTMJ. Debbie helps get you home up next.
Tony Drake here from Drake & Associates. Big news. Our Retirement Ready radio show is moving to a new time slot. Catch us at noon every Saturday. At Drake & Associates, we craft tailor-made plans that not only meet your financial needs, but align seamlessly with your unique lifestyle. Tune in at noon on Saturdays and get retirement ready.
Drake & Associates, LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates, LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Sometimes life's challenges leave you feeling alone. We all need someone who understands and listens without judgment. That's what the 988 Wisconsin Lifeline is for. 988 is free and confidential. Trained counselors are ready to listen and provide support 24/7 for mental health and substance use concerns. You can contact 988 for yourself or for someone you know. Don't wait. Call or text 988 or chat online at 988wisconsin.org. 988 24/7. Call, text, chat. Here to support you.
Brought to you by the Wisconsin Department of Health Services.
Otto's Wine and Spirits, they're the real deal. Serving Milwaukee since 1945. 7 locations, employee-owned, super friendly staff. I just got a couple of cases of Chianti Classico from one of our favorite parts of Italy. You know what I love about Otto's? They've got the best wine selection and people who know what they're doing who can help you. They've got great value, and that beer selection, it is serious. Every line and Kugel flavor you can imagine, and the other stuff too. It's Wisconsin strong, best selection, best value. At Otto's, they will beat any advertised price. It's the real deal. 7 locations. They're all over the place. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits.
Wisconsin is as hard-working of a place as you'll ever find. There's a sense of pride, community, and work ethic that's second to none. People here are tough, but even the toughest among us need help after a serious accident. At Gruber Law Offices, we won't stop fighting for you and your family. We've been here and will continue to be here for as long as you need us. Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
Traffic is sponsored by Lynch McQuanago. The place you want to go. Lynch McQuanago.
Chevrolets, Fords, Chryslers, Dodges, Jeeps, and Rams. All in one location. The place you want to go. Lynch McQuanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga. How's that ride rolling?
Well, it's still a little bit backed up. We got southbound 4394, an accident at Beecher, and the left lane is still blocked with this. Tow truck's on the scene now, so hopefully they'll get that out of there soon. But the delays are there, and they are stretching all the way back past Capitol Drive. And then we've got one on northbound 4394, just past Howard Avenue. That is off on the left shoulder. So a couple of cars and a squad car there just might be tying things up just a little bit. Other than that, we've got southbound 41 backing up from before Good Hope Road all the way down past Capitol. And then more delays coming out of the Zoo Interchange down towards Lincoln, and then again from Oklahoma Avenue into the Hale Interchange on 894 southbound. Hey, be your eyes on the roads. Report accidents, slowdowns, and road conditions to the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight, mostly clear, low of 62 degrees. Tomorrow, sunny, warm, 83. On Friday, cloudy, 79. On Saturday, mostly cloudy, 78. And on Sunday, chance for rain, a high of 78 degrees.
He wore the jersey.
Schemes are great. Great players are better.
And now he's breaking down every play with his trademark flair.
I feel like I'm a smart person most of the time, but there's some things I just don't get.
It's time to get caught up on the green and gold with today's Insider.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
He is Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher with us. Tausch, thank you so much for being with us on Wednesdays.
It's my favorite day of the week. Hump Day.
Yes. Hey, let's talk about the trip from Brazil. We're going to get into the quarterback situation and all of that, but as a big guy flying on an airplane, what's it like if you have to go 12 hours, almost 12 hours on an airplane to South America, and then you got to make the trip coming back in the middle of the night? Would that be not fun for you?
Yeah, it sucks. And even with, I've went overseas, and I don't know if I've done a 12-hour trip, but even in those pods, the pods are great. You get to kind of stretch out. You can get a little sleep. It's obviously a lot better than just sitting in your normal seats. And it sounds like most of the players had pods. But for big people, 3 or 4 hours about where you want to be. They did it. They made it through, and they're back. And I'm sure, the result wasn't what they wanted. But, yeah, there is no – I don't know how much sleep or how comfortable any of the linemen on either side of the ball would have been, because flying sucks anyways, and especially with a flight that long. But at least if you get potted up, it's a little bit better.
And to be a fly on the wall to see what's going on with, seeing what's going on with the quarterback that was injured on the flight back. What were you thinking about when you saw that live?
Well, obviously, when Jordan took the shot at the end of the game, there was so much uncertainty, and we did our post-game show, and it was all about what happened to Jordan Love because, if he is going to miss a substantial amount of time or the season, we were all freaking out because the chances of the Packers having a great year drop off big time. And then the news came Saturday afternoon that it was an MCL. He's going to be out for a little bit. And then Matt LaFleur comes and says this. So you kind of go through that wide range of emotions where you have the worst case thoughts and then all of a sudden, where a couple of weeks ago, if you said he's out 3 to 6 weeks with an MCL, you'd have been, oh, man. But then when you can kind of get perspective that you hopefully only misses a couple of weeks, you start looking at how can we find a way to win a couple games while our quarterback is healing up. So you kind of go through that wide range of emotions, and you hope for the best. And I think in this instance, I think the Packers and Jordan Love got the best end result they could because it looked a lot worse than that on the field in Brazil.
Mark Tauscher's with us. So, Tausch, take us inside the locker room because I think as fans we have a different perspective. We're bummed a little bit, and we think about the next week. But when this is your livelihood and it's your leader and you see that he's hurt, what's it like in the locker room as you try to rally and seek information?
Yeah, I mean, guys are all, they're obviously just as intrigued about how long Jordan's going to be out, and you kind of go through that process. And then today I think it's really important for Matt LaFleur and the coaches to kind of set the standard. And it's definitely going to be better knowing he's going to be back because he is the leader of your football team. And now you kind of just tighten everything up. You realize if you're an offensive lineman or a running back, I got to even make sure I'm more dialed in. I got to try and make life as easy as I can possibly do it for my new quarterback, whether that's going to be Sean Clifford or Malik Willis. What do we have to do to make this thing run a little bit smoother so that we give him a chance to be successful? That's the coaches have to really kind of hone in on that and figure out, all right, what is he good at and how can we execute a game plan that can beat the Indianapolis Colts? So you look at it much more so like, all right, we got 1 week, and then we'll reevaluate where Jordan's at. But let's find a way, simplify a game plan, and this week has got to all be about execution of a simpler game plan and finding a way to beat the Indianapolis Colts.
Sometimes the backup can be a blessing. Like, think about Tom Brady, right? But what do we think about our backups?
Yeah, I think sometimes I would agree with you, Julia, that, yeah, it is. Tom Brady obviously took over for Drew Bledsoe, and I don't think anybody in that New England Patriot locker room thought, oh, great, we're going to win a world championship that year. So you never know. You can catch lightning in a bottle. I think for this week, this isn't, I don't think any of that, it's not the same. Drew Bledsoe was a highly paid guy. We just hope Malik Willis come out there and make some plays and not make any major mistakes. That to me, when you're a backup quarterback, especially a guy that has just been in Green Bay. I mean, we picked him up right at the end of training camp. He's only been here 15 to 20 days. So how well-versed he can be in this offense, all of those questions. But, yeah, I think you pick up a quarterback hoping that he can come in, get better, and when called upon, can do what he needs to do. So that's, I think, the hope that this team can have.
Tausch, you have torn your ACL. You've hurt your MCL. Take us inside the mental part of it when you have an injury. There's the rehab. There's the surgery. There's all of that. How tough is it as a world-class athlete on the mental side of things when you've suffered a knee injury?
Yeah, I think, it's funny that you asked that question because if it's an ACL and Jordan's out for the season, I think he probably had those thoughts as he's flying back, like he didn't know. You almost get, when it was this case where it goes from I could miss the end of the season to, oh, I'm only going to be out a couple of weeks, you flip right into what do I have to do to get back tomorrow? Knowing you're probably not going to get back tomorrow, but it really is, it sounds crazy, but it's okay, now I know this is what I have to deal with. This is because I'm going to get back for my teammates and for myself as soon as possible. So when you have a season-ending injury, you go to some dark places. When you have an injury like this, there's a time on the field and maybe during that uncertain time that you'll have some, real question marks. But then when you get that diagnosis and you know that you can get back out on the field, it goes immediately into let me get to work. Let's get with the training staff. I'm going to go around the clock and figure out a way to get this knee back up as quickly as I possibly can so I can get out there and play again.
Tausch, if my memory serves me right, I know you like to travel. Have you been to Machu Picchu? You've been to Machu Picchu, right?
I have.
But have you been to Brazil?
Got back in March or in May.
Yeah, that's right.
I have not been to Brazil, no.
Have you been to a Brazilian steakhouse?
I have. That's the places you put the little green and red cards up,
they go
right?
around
Where
in
they
a
just keep
circle
bringing
with
you
a
food.
piece? Yeah.
Yes, they come around carrying all the meat.
Yep.
Do you do the salad bar at the
I have.
Brazilian steakhouse, or do you say, no, I'm here for the meat?
That's a great question. I think you hopefully, I can't remember the last time I went into one. I just remember having meat sweats when I was done. So my guess would be I probably didn't hit the salad bar. As surprising as that may be to you guys, I probably did not.
I'm thinking Julia hit the salad bar. Did you do something green on your plate?
No, I had major meat sweats too. It was terrible. It was awful.
Tausch, what about a Brazilian wax? We're doing all Brazil this segment. Have you had a Brazilian wax?
I'll let you guys handle.
Yes,
I'm going to let you guys handle that one. Nobody, including myself, wants any part of that when it comes
Just
to
don't
me.
explain what that is, please, John.
Mark Tauscher, Packers Hall of Famer. He's going to be with us every Wednesday here on TMJ. Good to have you, Tausch. Thank you so much.
You got it. Thanks.
Yeah. No explaining
I love
here.
how you stayed away from
No
answering
explaining,
that question.
yeah. Anyhow, it's 4:25 at WTMJ. Time for the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Weird day. The markets were all down several hundred points, and then they rebounded. The NASDAQ ended up 370. That's more than 2%. The Dow was up 125. The S&P was up 58 points on the day. Get an honest opinion of where you are financially from a fee-only fiduciary. Start at annexwealth.com.
Buying a home should be a joy, but could you imagine doing this without a realtor? Paperwork, inspections, appraisals, deadlines, showings, market research? Or you could relax. Or understanding legal documents, negotiating offers, coordinating inspections, securing finance. Oh, sorry. A realtor can take the stress out of the home buying process. See how at wra.org/a-realtor-can. Brought to you by the Wisconsin Realtors Association.
Realtors are members of the National Association of Realtors.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Elmbrook Family Dental. I was just there this morning. I saw Annie. She took great care of me, along with Dr. Brunner, in their new Wauwatosa office. So beautiful at 800 Mayfair Road. The entire TMJ and sleep therapy wing is ready for you. They have laser technology. I just had it on my temples, even on my neck and shoulders, to help with all the tension issues that I'm having. It's, according to Dr. Brunner, caused by my clenching jaw, and it's easing all of my headaches. You can learn more at elmbrookfamilydental.com. That's ELMBROOK familydental.com. There's Kelly, Mindy, Justine, so many great people there. Brand new, state-of-the-art facility. And they're accepting new patients now at their new facility at 800 Mayfair Road. They also have 2 convenient locations in Brookfield. Just head to elmbrookfamilydental.com to learn more.
Time is running out on the Brewers regular season. Hurry up and catch the Crew battle the Diamondbacks September 20th through the 22nd for College Night and a Brewers Puffy Vest giveaway on the 21st. Get your seats now at brewers.com/tickets.
Donald Trump's back, and he's out for control.
I would have every right to go after them.
Complete control.
I will wield that power very aggressively.
And he has a plan to get it.
Detailed plans for exactly what our movement will do.
It's called Project 2025, a 922-page blueprint to make Donald Trump the most powerful president ever. Overhauling the Department of Justice, giving Trump the unchecked power to seek vengeance, eliminating the Department of Education, and defunding K-12 schools, requiring the government to monitor women's pregnancies, and Trump has also proposed severe cuts to Medicare and Social Security. Those are Donald Trump's plans.
Well, revenge does take time, I will say that. And sometimes revenge can be justified.
He'll take control, we'll pay the price.
I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message. Paid for by Harris for President.
Gene Miller here for my friends at Hometown Windows and Doors. Unfortunately, it's not too early to start thinking about those upcoming heating bills. At Hometown's huge New Berlin showroom, you can compare energy-efficient windows from Anderson, Pella, Marvin, and more. Like me, you'll get a dedicated project consultant to guide you to the products that best fit your home, style, and budget, along with employee carpenters who respect your home. Do what I did. Contact Hometown Windows and Doors today. Hometown with an E for your every window and door need. 414-329-1200 or online at hometownwindows.com.
Back and neck pain can interfere with your daily activities and reduce your quality of life. Here to tell us more is J.P. Warner, an orthopedic spine surgeon with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network. Dr. Warner, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you for having me.
Let's talk treatment. What are the various treatment options available for back and neck pain?
There are many treatment options for patients with back and neck pain, and the best course of treatment depends on the reason for their pain. We usually start with things like physical and occupational therapy to work on core strengthening, range of motion, stretching, and the development of a home exercise program. Some patients will benefit from dry needling, which can also be performed by our physical therapist. If this doesn't provide the relief they're looking for, there are medications that can target nerve pain and many types of injections that can improve their symptoms. If all of this doesn't work, there may be surgical options to provide lasting relief as well.
All right, so let's talk about the surgical options your team offers. Can you detail that a little bit?
My team offers a whole host of surgical options depending on the source of the problem. I utilize minimally invasive options such as microdiscectomies and indirect decompressions whenever possible. In addition, I offer cervical laminoplasty, which is a newer motion-preserving procedure for patients who have spinal stenosis in their neck. Sometimes patients require more extensive procedures, but we only utilize these if less invasive approaches are not an option. I perform CT-guided surgery, which allows me to perform very precise and safe surgery. My goal is always to improve my patients' quality of life and get them back to a level of functionality that they're happy with.
Is there a difference in where a person receives care for back and neck pain?
Yeah, so as part of a large academic health network, our spine team has access to and utilizes multiple specialists to provide the most individualized care possible. Our team includes orthopedic spine surgeons such as myself, neurosurgeons, physical medicine and rehabilitation doctors, chiropractors, as well as occupational and physical therapists. We use a team-based approach and work together to find the right course of treatment for our patients. I think it's important for patients to also recognize that we always start with the least invasive approach and offer options including injections and minimally invasive techniques if surgery is needed.
Dr. Warner, thanks for being with us today. To find a doctor who's right for you, visit freighter.com/spinecare. Traffic is sponsored by Two Men and a Junk Truck. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
From removing unwanted clutter or junk to full-service residential or commercial cleanouts, get a free same-day estimate at twomenajuncktruck.com. Keep what you love, ditch what you don't.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:31. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, some sad news regarding the health of a local leader.
I'm Julia Fellow. A missing scuba diver recovered. We'll tell you where.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We're still dealing with an accident on northbound 4394 just past Howard Avenue. Tow truck on the scene on the left shoulder with a crash there, so watch out for that. Beyond that, we've got delays pretty much from Beecher all the way over the high-rise bridge and stretching up towards North Avenue. Southbound is backing up from Keefe all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River. Westbound on 94, heavy out of the Marquette all the way past Hawley Road, almost to 68th Street. Eastbound is backed up from 76th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight will be clear, low of 61. Tomorrow, hazy, cloudy later in the day. 83 at the lake, 87 inland. The current temperature here in Milwaukee is 78 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, Waukesha County Executive Paul Farrow announcing he's been diagnosed with a rare type of cancer.
I'm going to be facing a journey like many people have. Unfortunately, mine will be a little more public because of the position. I'm still going to be at the desk. I'm still going to be working as hard as I can. My appearance may be changing a little bit, but the attitude won't.
Farrow received the diagnosis a few weeks ago after undergoing multiple medical examinations. He's already started chemotherapy. He plans on staying in the office while receiving treatment.
The body of a missing scuba diver is recovered from a shipwreck. 72-year-old Patrick Kelly of Winthrop Harbor, Illinois, was diving around the shipwreck of SS Wisconsin on yesterday. He was approximately 6 miles off from the village of Pleasant Prairie coastline. When he didn't resurface, his wife called the Coast Guard for help. Kelly's body was recovered this morning about 125 feet below the surface.
An international cold case expert comes to Milwaukee next month as part of a show at the Pabst Theater. During the event, he's hoping to help local law enforcement.
People don't solve murders. It's teams solve murders. What I'm hoping to do while I'm there is just share, maybe some lessons we've learned in other places.
Retired NCIS Special Agent Joe Kennedy spent 28 years investigating murders around the world. He's solved hundreds of cases. Kennedy tells Wisconsin's Midday News he hopes to crack even more when he takes his new tour, Cold Case Live, on the road.
I'm sure some folks are going to show up with their own cold cases that they're familiar with from their local neighborhoods or communities. And what I'm hoping to do is we generate enough interest that perhaps someone comes forward with that little bit of information or that overlooked clue, and it leads to a solved case.
Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
City of Madison Common Council approves changing the city's zoning code to create affordable housing for college students. They voted yesterday night to allow apartments and housing developers to exceed the maximum number of stories allowed in the downtown area, in exchange for guaranteeing that a portion of the units will be available at below market rates. This way, students from low to moderate income families could rent the affordable units.
Across the country, Americans are taking pause to remember the lives lost on September 11th. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson says nearly 25 years since the attacks, today should be used to reevaluate national priorities.
It still brings us together in a way where we can look back and honor the lives lost, but it also presents an opportunity for us to reflect, for national reflection.
Other 9/11 events held today were in Kewaskum, Oconomowoc, and Stratford.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers look to make it 2 in a row out in Game 2 of the 3-game series against the Giants. Coverage begins at 8:10 right here on WTMJ.
Siding Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 4:35.
This report sponsored by Pella of Wisconsin. Discover Pella now, pay later at PellaWI.com.
Jeff Levering here, asking the question, what does baseball have in common with Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin? Manufacturing. Pella manufactures all their own products. Baseball teams have a similar homegrown strategy by developing its own players in the minors. Testing. Pella tests every product thousands upon thousands of times to ensure it stands the test of time. The ultimate test for baseball players to get called up to the big leagues, hoping to play well enough to stay. Pella is also the window and door equivalent of hitting for the cycle. Quality craftsmanship and innovative design are built into every Pella product for timeless beauty and performance. And now, Gina Della from Pella is here to call the big finale.
Thanks, Jeff. Pella windows and doors are best in class, not only from the endless styles, but for the features you can't see. And now for something you almost can't believe. Get as low as $18 per window and $81 per patio door per month. Hurry, the deal lasts only until September 30th, so visit PellaWI.com today.
Certain restrictions apply.
Do you need to rent a bus for a corporate outing, baseball game, or a wedding? Milwaukee Bus Rentals has a bus for you. You may have seen our lime green buses driving through town. Now we have a fleet of black buses too. The rides are perfect for bachelorette parties, wedding shuttles, trips to the ballpark, and corporate outings. Milwaukee Bus Rentals can even plan a tour of Milwaukee to add to your bus rental if you'd like. The wheels on our buses do, in fact, go round and round all through the town. Book yours at MilwaukeeBusRentals.com.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
Yes! Yeah! I love that song because the best is here. She's the travel secretary. She's our sunshine. She's Ann Sayers. Hello, Ann.
Hello. Wisconsin's the best.
Yes, you got that right. I like the way you're thinking. And this time of year is fantastic, especially if you're a camper, isn't it?
Such a fan of this time of year, and camping is just one of the best ways to really get out into this sparkly sunshine and the changing fall colors and take it all in.
So there's a camping trip that you could have with a pair of Travel Wisconsin resources. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, so we are so excited about this resource. It's called the Fall Color Report, and it is an interactive map that details the status of the changing fall leaves throughout the state. So you can return to the report as the season progresses. You can discover where the colors are popping, so you can make that last-minute trip. You can also learn the forecast for the week of peak color around Wisconsin to plan a trip ahead of time. And you can also find excellent hiking and biking if you're camping by using the Wisconsin Trail Report. So these two reports are now speaking to each other, which is a really exciting new development. This resource displays hiking and biking trail networks throughout Wisconsin, and it includes trail conditions, on-site amenities, and other details. Seriously, this is one-stop shopping for planning a great fall getaway.
I really love this. I love the website. I'm on there quite often, and I like the snow report. The Wisconsin Trail Report's cool. The Fall Color Report is my favorite, and now for the Color and Trail Report to work together, this is really interactive and cool.
It is. There's no other report that's so urgent, right? I mean, see the fall leaves before the fall leaves. So you definitely need to check it out and see how you can put it to good use.
Yep, I think you're absolutely right about that. Mirror Lake State Park, this is in Sauk County, and it's a beautiful place to do a little camping.
It is like one of the best sites for seeing the colorful trees reflected on a calm lake surface. You can soak in magical moments by camping at Mirror Lake State Park. It gets that name for a reason. This park offers 151 campsites and a variety of ways to take in the vibrant colors of the season. You can hike more than 19 miles. You can bike on 9 miles of trails, and you can, of course, paddle on this placid namesake lake. It's gorgeous. You will be awed by the 500 million-year-old sandstone cliffs and trees that line Mirror Lake. And if you're there, of course, you must head to Ishnala Supper Club for an unforgettable dining experience. It is an iconic restaurant located inside the park. It's typically open until mid-October. You're going to find walls of windows that just bring you in the colorful outdoors, and you get to enjoy some top-notch food and a awesome Wisconsin old-fashioned.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome. Okay, so we are thinking about family-friendly events, and there's a lot of really great activities in Waushara County, I hear.
Yes, shades of yellow, orange, and red will soon be appearing at the Evergreen campsites and resort. You're going to find loads of family fun and activities at the Waushara County Campground. Evergreen, they offer lodging options for all tastes, from large cabins to quaint cottages, modern bungalows, and even a refurbished train caboose. They have a well-stocked camp store. That means you're not going to have to leave Evergreen for the essentials, and you can make memories as a family by playing in the game room. They have dozens of arcade games, including skee ball, which I'm really good at. Then you can get in a round or two at the on-site mini golf course, followed by fun on the playground. Plus, a fishing pond provides a perfect place for the little ones to hone their angling skills under the fall leaves.
Oh, that's perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect photos.
I love it. I take detailed notes on all of our guests. I'm writing that down. Ann Sayers, good at skee ball. Okay, got that right there.
I don't even know what skee ball is.
Oh, it's one where you roll the ball and it goes into the big circles with the different numbers values, right, Ann?
Yeah, it's like bowling,
yes.
kind of.
Yes. All right, we're going to take you.
Ball?
Okay.
Yes, bowling and bocce together. Let's head to the Northwoods. Glamping in the Northwoods. What's this all about?
Glamping, yes. If you're looking for a little more comfort, you can book a glamping experience at Cody's Point of View Lake Resort. This is in Phelps. This resort is tucked in the colorful Nicolet National Forest near the border of the Upper Peninsula. They rent 12 distinct glamping sites for folks who want that comfort and style. You can choose one of the charming vintage campers. They're very cute, which are meticulously decorated for an Instagram-worthy look. You can also opt for one of the luxury tents. The tents are outfitted with furniture like beds, tables, chairs, and couches. Even some have a deck. And you can discover more glamping options by searching travelwisconsin.com.
Are you a camper? Are you a glamper? What's your deal, Ann?
I feel like young Ann was a camper and middle-aged Ann might be more of a glamper.
Yeah.
Me too. I'm totally glamping. John?
Glamping. I'm not a camper. No. My idea of roughing it is it's only a queen bed instead of a king bed at the hotel room.
Oh, wow.
Ann Sayers is the travel secretary. Seriously, check out the website, travelwisconsin.com, for that fall color report and the Wisconsin Trail Report. Ann, it's always fun to catch up. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
You're simply the best. Yeah, let's go. Better than all the rest. She's also the best. Debbie Lazaga helps get you home up next.
travel
Wisconsin volleyball has a new home.
It's match point in Madison.
Catch all the excitement of the 2024 season.
Booth and Spreck putting up that Wisconsin wall.
And don't miss out on moments like this.
Booth dunks it down with two hands, and that's a point for Wisconsin. Set Spreck, kill Franklin.
Badgers volleyball on WTMJ is presented by Steinhoffels. Don't miss any of the action right here on Wisconsin's radio station, 620 WTMJ.
Griffin Chevrolet in Milwaukee. I love Griffin Chevrolet. The last vehicle I bought was that Griffin Chevrolet. It was a Blazer for my wife. It was beautiful. It's got everything she wants on it. And I was impressed because they've got a great selection at Griffin Chevrolet right there on the Metro Auto Mall. All the colors, all the trim packages, they're easy to work with. They've got 100-plus vehicles in stock, brand new right now, ready to be delivered. A fresh selection every single day at Griffin Chevrolet. Great used trucks, capable SUVs, and budget vehicles. See Griffin Chevy right in the Metro Auto Mall for all those choices. They've got the all-new 2025 Chevy Equinox available. The 2024 Chevy Traverse is available. It's the first ever Chevrolet Traverse Z71. That's a sweet ride. They've got it going on at Griffin. They've got a great service department as well. They'll give you a brand new tire deal, brand new tires for just $1 over cost. That's how they roll. Free tire repair and lifetime tire rotation cannot be combined with other offers. They must put on the tires for you. See Service Advisor for details. It's Griffin Chevrolet in Milwaukee. Jim Griffin is the real deal. His teams, they follow his lead. They're going to take care of you. Best service, best selection. It's Griffin Chevrolet.
There you are again, hesitating to make your first move to get out of bed because you know that's when the pain you feel will get worse. You don't have to keep living this way. We've developed proprietary and powerful pain treatment plans that can help alleviate your pain so you can start getting back to the more active life you used to have. This is Richard Salinas, registered nurse with Rejuvenex Arthritis Pain Clinics. Our FDA-approved pain treatments work to aid inflammation and lubricate your joints. They're precisely administered to where your pain lives, and at $65 per injection per joint, they're far more affordable than experimental bioregenerative options. And because in almost all cases insurance covers our treatments, it makes it easier to just give it a try to see if you, like thousands of others, can move towards a pain-free life. At Rejuvenex, we can alleviate your pain, and that'll rejuvenate your life.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
At Inspired Closets, we're proud to be a locally owned and operated business. We get to help families just like ours by calming the chaos.
That's right, Katie. Milwaukee homeowners have trusted the Anheuser family for 55 years.
And we've continued that tradition with Inspired Closets.
We are not a franchise. This allows us to have the best prices without compromising quality.
Plus, Inspired Closets has a lifetime warranty and price match guarantee.
Buy local and save money today. InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
A wife and husband team.
Traffic is sponsored by SB Framing Gallery, Milwaukee's distinctive archival framing.
SB Framing Gallery in the 3rd Ward can enhance and protect your artwork for generations. Framing pieces with archival and distinctive design. Learn more at sbframinggallery.com.
Traffic and weather. Let's get a look outside with Debbie Lasaga.
All right, some delays along southbound 41 stretching from before Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. A little tightening up right around the North Avenue curve, too. Northbound is backing up from Mayfair Road all the way up towards Capitol as well. Eastbound 94, we're seeing some delays from Highway G to Highway 16. Back on the brakes through the Barker Road area. And then we've got more delays from 76th Street through the Stadium interchange. Westbound 94, heavy from 17th Street all the way through to about Hawley Road. And then on southbound 43, on and off the brakes here from Hampton to Capitol. Then you're back on the brakes from Keefe all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River. On the northbound side of 4394, we do have a crash off on the left. Actually, no, it's gone now as I'm looking at the camera shot. So it is cleared up, this accident at Howard Avenue. Things are moving along pretty well till you get to the Marquette. Then it starts to tighten up past Fond du Lac Avenue. I'm Debbie Lasaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight will be mostly clear, a low of 62. Tomorrow, warm and hazy, a high of 83 degrees. Friday, mostly cloudy, high clouds, filtered sunshine you might have, high of 79. Saturday, mostly cloudy, a high of 78. Sunday, a chance of shower, cloudy all weekend, a high of 78. The current temperature right now in Milwaukee is 78 degrees.
Dale Koinga is the president and CEO of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce. Dale, thanks for being with us.
Hey, thank you guys for, I was listening to you in previous hours, and your coverage on 9/11 today has been spectacular. It's been genuine, authentic. So thank you for covering the details of this important day.
Hey, Dale, thanks for bringing that up, because Julie and I were just talking as you were on hold, and the first thing we wanted to ask you about, with your distinguished military career and your public service in our legislature, was your reflections of 9/11. Where were you 23 years ago? Can you take us to Dale's day 23 years ago?
Yeah, so I just moved to Milwaukee September 1, 2001. I was in our new apartment about a block and a half away or half from UWM, new roommates, and woke up and turned the TV on, saw that first plane hit, and was just trying to sort it all out. And I saw that second plane hit, and I remember my other roommate woke up, and the third roommate, and I said the words that came out of my mouth, and when it hit my ears, it just sounded so melodramatic, but it was so true. And what I said was, America's under attack. And they sat down, and we continued to watch the Pentagon get hit and the brave souls take down that flight over Pennsylvania. And I remember the biggest thing on that day was being on that porch. It was a beautiful, beautiful weather day, like today in Milwaukee. And I remember my mom was crying, saying they're going to send all three of my boys off to war. And I said, no. I'm like, Mom, Danny's in high school. They're not going to send Danny. I said, Russell's in college. They don't send people to college. And I'm an accountant. They're not going to send a bunch of accountants off to war. But long story short, Mom's always right, because my youngest brother joined shortly after 9/11, got a waiver, a 17-year-old waiver. My other brother joined when he graduated college. And then for many different reasons, I don't know if it was Saving Private Ryan or Legends of the Fall or whatever it was, but was inspired to all join together. So all three of us boys joined the military together, inspired by 9/11. So just a day that has changed my life, a day that has changed America, and it's just a lot to sort out.
Wow, that's powerful. Thank you for your service.
Oh, my goodness. That's so powerful. We'll go now into our weekly economic briefing with you. Thank you for sharing that again. Now, this is something that John and I have been talking about. Actually, I think we're talking about Monday, John?
Yeah.
All school districts regulating cell phone usage for students. Can you tell us about that, Dale?
I love it. I love it.
Me too.
You do? Okay, because we had a texter that was mad at us.
It has to happen. Oh, no, it has to happen. I mean, we're not only talking about social graces. There is there's a brain that's still being developed that needs to be free of distractions to focus on the content of the delivery of instruction in the schools and the social relationships that should also be fostered in a person-on-person sense with the teacher and your classmates versus on Snapchat or some other crap that is just, I think it has to happen. And I think I can speak on part of the business community that we need people that can focus on doing their work and doing their job and connect with other people. And so if school districts want to reinforce that concept by saying, put your freaking phone away, we are all in support of that.
I was thinking that too.
Absolutely.
The adults too.
Good.
Yeah, I'm with you 1,000%. You know, and we hear about what if there's an emergency? What if, you know, in most school districts now they're collecting the phones, Dale, and they put them in a caddy at the front. And then if there's an emergency, guess what? You can grab your phone, but otherwise you really don't need it. I kind of like what they did in Mukwonago. They've gone the furthest. They've said you're not even using your phone during passing time or lunch or any of that. Talk to each other. Do what you used to do. Leave the phone in your locker or your backpack.
But do you guys see, like, if there's a 9/11 event that you want to get a hold of your child?
Well, I went through 9/11 with my kids, and no, I didn't need to get a hold of my child. My child came home from school, and then we had the discussion. I just think it's too detrimental. Yeah,
I think it's the cost-benefit factor. I just think it's what if. I mean, what if you grow up and you can't focus? That's a bigger. I mean, I think it's absolutely the right answer, and I hope more school districts go that direction.
Hey, Dale, kind of related to that, office etiquette is, I guess, school etiquette, office etiquette. A very interesting survey out about what people say bothers them the most in the office and what's most important. What did the survey find?
Well, it finds that 14% of workers identified being punctual as the most important workplace manner. Just 14%. And then just 2%
John wouldn't agree with that.
Professionally is important.
Yeah.
I don't agree with that. I don't think that reflects Milwaukee or Midwestern values. You know, I always say I don't say it. It's something I learned about service is right time, right place, right uniform. Yeah, and also, I mean, I think it also goes with put your phone away. But yeah, the top numbers are 88% say not cleaning up after yourself were a big no-no. That is a problem. Agree with that. 81% said gossiping is a problem. Agree with that. 78% using inappropriate language. Yes, like mind your language. And 77%, this is a good one, being unresponsive to messages is just respond to a message. It just could be a thumbs up. It could be okay. It could be got your message. It's take more time to respond than I have time for. But whether it be your personal life or professional life, a simple acknowledgement that you got the message and a plan to respond goes a long, long way.
You're so good with that, John.
Yep.
I need to get better at that.
No, you're good at it.
Inappropriate language, I don't care about.
Well, in our business, it's inappropriate all the time.
And how about gossiping?
Yeah, so 81% say they're against gossiping.
Yeah, right.
What percentage of that are gossipers?
100%. Give me a break.
Dale, which of these four bothers you the most? Which of those four? Not cleaning up, gossiping, inappropriate language, or unresponsive to messages?
Probably unresponsiveness to messaging, but inappropriate language I think is also a problem. I think it shows a clear lack of respect. I mean, I think that's a deeper conversation, but I think people need to just kind of police up. I think I'll tell you this one from a professional standpoint. Would you ever use inappropriate language in an interview? And the answer is no.
No.
Job.
No, but I would with Julia. But I would with Julia. Like
there's a level of relationship. Like John, if you and I are at the Brewers game, we're there for 9 innings. I'm explaining something, I get really fired up, and I curse. That's a different usage of it than me in a professional setting in a boardroom and saying, yeah, that guy's a whatever. You know, so
no, I agree.
I think there's different contexts.
Let me ask you this
we're not
then.
to be saints, but
so let me ask you this: in the middle of those two examples, if you're sitting here in the studio and we're in a commercial break before we go on, and I say to you, "Can you effing believe what that guy said?" Is that it's the three of us only in here? Is that inappropriate? Does that bother you?
Uh-oh,
John. A risk I would never take. But no, it does not bother me at all. I mean, for crap's sake, I mean. I grew up in the South Side of Chicago and been to war. I'm not in.
All right, here's mine. This is my most offensive. Is when you're not cleaning up after yourself, because in news vehicles, there's one time people left their dip and their chips and their whole entire meal on the dash.
And then you cursed.
Probably. It was gross.
That is nasty.
Dale Coyne,
that is a problem. I'm not going to downplay that.
That's a good list, actually. None of those are really
I
appropriate.
love this. Thank you.
Dale Coyne is the president of the Metropolitan Milwaukee Association of Commerce. He's also the CEO. Dale, thank you so much. We always appreciate you making time for us.
All right, thank you. Have a good one.
And thanks for your service. We don't take that for granted either.
All right.
4:56 at WTMJ. Here's your business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
USA Wrestling awards its Junior National Dual Meet Championships to Milwaukee. This is the first time that Wisconsin has hosted the event, which will be held at the Baird Center for the next 4 years, from 2025 to 2028. The event features competition in freestyle and Greco-Roman matches. Milwaukee World Festival Incorporated plans to enhance the amphitheater at Henry Meyer Festival Park. The organization is working on a list of potential upgrades, but has not yet provided specifics or a timeline for the work that will be done on the venue. The Versity Blood Research Institute plans to start construction on its $79 million expansion later this month in Wauwatosa. The 79,000 square foot addition to Versity's existing facility will provide more lab space and is expected to create 100 new jobs in the next 5 to 7 years. I'm Linda Spice with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on News Radio WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
This report is sponsored by Diamonds Direct. Your love
their passion.
This September, Diamonds Direct's ultimate offer is back, stronger than ever. Diamonds Direct helps you get the perfect jewelry gift with 0% interest. That's right, enjoy 5 years of 0% financing on any Diamonds Direct purchase. It's your chance to get her the perfect ring with 0 interest and comfortable monthly payments that fit your budget. But act fast. This offer ends September 30th. For details and more, visit DiamondsDirect.com. Spread your payments over 5 years with 0 interest on approved credit. Only at Diamonds Direct. Your love, our passion.
WTMJ's Julia Fellow here for Just Between Friends, Milwaukee County. I wanted to give you a heads up. This is the best sale for gently used children and teens items, and it only happens twice a year. Just Between Friends, Milwaukee County, happening Thursday, September 19th, pre-sale, through Sunday, September 22nd. This is happening on the Wisconsin State Fair's Expo Center grounds on Greenfield Avenue. Again, it's gently used clothing, toys, equipment for your growing family at up to 90% off the retail price. Everything is like brand new. A Squishmallow, for example, is maybe like $45. I got one for $8. It's so easy to go and sign up. Just go to milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com to get some tickets. That's milwaukeecounty.jbfsale.com.
Bank 5-9 has a mission to make lives better. That mission extends beyond their customers and communities to their employees. Bank 5-9 was just honored again by the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel as a top workplace. That makes 15 years in a row. In fact, they were named the #1 midsize employer in the region and earned special recognition for the company's overall direction. Want to learn more about working with the great people at Bank 5-9? Visit bank59.com/careers. Equal Opportunity Employer, member FDIC.
When severe weather hits and the power goes out, do you have a plan? For reliable power and peace of mind, propane can do that. It only takes about 10 seconds for a propane-powered generator to restore power to your home. So no matter what Mother Nature has in store, you know you're prepared. Learn more at WIPGA.org. This message is sponsored by your local propane provider and the Wisconsin Propane Education and Research Council.
At Blaine's Farm and Fleet, we get you the farm supplies you need because we get you. That's why we offer unbeatable prices on trusted brands like select Hillman nuts, bolts, and washers, $1.99 a pound. Save $70 on a Hobart Handler 140 MIG welder. Edsel welded storage racks, $249.99, and Tomcat rodent baits or bait stations, $5 off. Plus, we've been working with our brand partners to get prices down. So shop our new lower everyday prices store-wide at Blaine's Farm and Fleet.
Don't let a cold, sinus infection, or allergies ruin your day. Breathe easier, sleep better, and feel healthier with Navage. Visit Navage.com, Walmart, Walgreens, CVS, or a store near you.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
Traffic is sponsored by Flanners Home Entertainment. Flanners.com. Just press play.
Upgrade your entertainment setup today. For the best in audio and video for your home, indoors and outdoors, Flanners Home Entertainment delivers sound advice at the best price. Flanners, just press play.
And then diving into the stands is Jackson Churiel.
From the San Francisco Bay.
The Brewers are back at the Bay to take on the Giants. Our coverage begins tonight at 8:10. We are your home for the Milwaukee Brewers. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
It's 5:01. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: victims still remembered 23 years later.
I'm Julia Fellow. Poll numbers post-debate.
I'm Debbie Lazago. We've got some backups basically from Good Hope Road on 41 southbound all the way down past Capitol Drive. Some more delays around the North Avenue curve. And then again from about Wisconsin Avenue down through the Zoo interchange, pretty much all the way down to the Hale. So watch out for that on the bypass. Westbound 894 heavy out of the Marquette all the way to about Hawley Road. We've also got some delays then from Highway 100 crossing the county line pretty much all the way to Calhoun. Eastbound's got backups from Highway G to Highway 16, back on the brakes from F all the way through past Barker Road to Brookfield Road, and then more delays from 76th Street on and off the brakes all the way through to 35th. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, clear, low of 61. Tomorrow, sunny, a high of 87. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center. Across the country, Americans are taking pause to remember the lives lost on 9/11. Milwaukee Mayor Cavalier Johnson says 23 years since the attacks, today should be used to reevaluate national priorities.
It still brings us together in a way where we can look back and honor the lives lost, but it also presents an opportunity for us to reflect, for national reflection.
Other 9/11 remembrances were held in Kewaskum and Oconomowoc.
The case against a Wisconsin teenager accused of luring a 10-year-old girl into the woods and killing her will remain in adult court. Court documents right now only identify that teen as CPB, the initials. He's charged with first-degree murder and 2 counts of sexual assault in the 2022 death of Lily Peters in Chippewa Falls. This was an Amber Alert. CPB was 14 years old at the time. The ruling means the teen's identity could eventually be fully revealed to all of us.
This decision in Wisconsin, a slight boost for Vice President Kamala Harris in the latest Marquette University Law School poll.
The poll shows Harris with a 52-48 lead among likely voters. When factoring third-party candidates, including Robert Kennedy Jr., Harris leads 47-43 among registered voters. In the race for U.S. Senate, incumbent Tammy Baldwin holds a tight lead over challenger Eric Hovde, 52-47 among likely voters. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
All those polling results were taken before last night's debate.
The Outer Banks of Hurricane Francine have reached Louisiana. CBS Dave Malkoff has the latest.
There is a possibility that this could be a Category 2 hurricane. That means that winds are about 90 miles an hour. There could be gusts over 100 miles an hour. With the storm surge, that's when the winds push the ocean water and the Gulf water into us. And that is the most dangerous part of the storm, is the flooding.
The community is still recovering from Hurricane Ida that hit 3 years ago there.
Franklin police are warning residents, about the TikTok door knock challenge after 2 incidents in the city. The challenge involves people banging on or kicking doors in the middle of the night to startle residents and then running away. Franklin police say that is disorderly conduct, and those who do it could be fined. They're increasing neighborhood patrols to help residents feel more secure.
Coming up, a new way and new name for soup.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:05.
Sponsored by Grandview Homes, the name you know, the name you trust. GrandviewHomes.com.
When you need to sell quickly, choose Grandview to buy your home, even if it's less than perfect. Don't waste time and money on finding a real estate agent and dealing with showings. We'll buy your home completely as is. No repairs, not even a clean out. Grandview Homes gives you an offer in hours, and we close on the day you choose in as little as 10 days with no closing costs. Visit GrandviewHomes.com for your fair cash offer today. Grandview Homes, the fastest and easiest way to sell your home.
With an ever-changing inventory, you never know what great bargains you're going to be able to find at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores. It makes shopping fun because the best finds are the ones you had no idea you'd even come across. And when they're at thrift store prices, it feels good. And it feels even better to know you're helping us help others. Shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
I'm Kamala Harris. Here's a few things I believe. Middle-class families, like the one I grew up in, they want common sense solutions. You want lower prices and lower taxes. I believe you want to just not get by, but you want to get ahead. We must create an opportunity economy where everyone has a chance to get a car loan, buy a home, start a business. And I believe we can make that happen.
Kamala Harris's plan? Bring down costs by cracking down on corporate price gougers. Make homeownership more affordable for families. A middle-class tax cut for 100 million Americans. And make sure billionaires and big corporations pay their fair share so you can keep more of the money you've earned.
Instead of being focused on the politics of the past, we need to be thinking about the future and how we make it better for families like yours. I'm Kamala Harris, candidate for president, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Harris for President.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:07.
One of the most iconic brand names is changing. CBS Michael Toscano explains.
Have you had your soup today? Campbell's, of course.
Campbell's, of course.
The Campbell Soup Company has been around for 155 years, starting out in New Jersey and adopting the current name in 1922. It's famous for its canned condensed soups, but has told investors it's dropping soup from the name and will just be known as Campbell's Company, as the company also owns brands like Prego sauce and Goldfish crackers and is buying up others.
Good.
Michael Toscano, CBS News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. The Brewers' magic number to clinch the NL Division, Central Division is 9 after last night's win. They look to make it 2 in a row. They're in San Francisco again tonight. Coverage begins at 8:10 on WTMJ.
Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:08.
Save now during the Labor Day sale at Ken Michaels Furniture. Special factory incentives make this the perfect time to save 35% on a new sofa, chair, or sectional crafted by Norwalk Furniture. American made with your choice of fabric or leather in a style and size to fit your need. Available in as little as 35 days. Can't wait? All our inventory is sale priced and ready for immediate delivery. Shop today and save during the Labor Day sale at any of our Ken Michaels Furniture stores in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee. There's no doubt that a better night's sleep makes for better days, and a good quality mattress helps make it happen. When you buy your new Milwaukee mattress from Ken Michaels Furniture, you are assured of a mattress made for your needs out of the finest natural materials direct from our Milwaukee factory. We make every style, size, and firmness of mattress, and with our factory direct prices, you will save up to 50% compared to other brands. Milwaukee mattresses from Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield, Greenfield, or downtown Milwaukee.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
Hey, I want to tell you about something very special we're doing. We are raising money to restore, renovate, and paint the memorial to Lance Sidejohn. It's his F-4 fighter jet that's near the airport on Howell Avenue. Let me tell you a little bit about Lance Sidejohn. He received the Medal of Honor after being trapped in the jungle, ejecting from his plane, severely injured. He was there for days and days and days, then died after being tortured in a North Vietnamese prison. So that's Lance Sidejohn, American hero, did everything the right way. I wanted to tell you a little bit about Lance the person. I had the chance to get to know his sister recently. And when Lance Sidejohn was at the Air Force Academy, they had a Christmas celebration. And as part of that, the families could come out to the academy. They had a big, famous dance at the academy. The family went out to see Lance at Colorado Springs because Lance, as a young cadet, was not allowed to leave and come home for Christmas. So the dance was part of what they did out there. 20-year-old Lance, very handsome, very accomplished, very athletic, decided he wanted to take his little sister to the dance, 7-year-old Janine. Most of the cadets, they take their girlfriends, they take girls from in town, everybody gets all dressed up. Lance wanted to take his baby sister, who was in town and only 7 years old. Here is that sister, Janine.
There was going to be a formal dance for Christmas. And he said, well, what are you going to wear for the dance? And I said, oh, Mom said I'm too young to go to the dance. I'll be in the activity room or whatever that was. And he said, well, you have to go. You're my date. Now, Lance was an extraordinarily charismatic, handsome young man. Getting a date was never an issue for Lance. And the fact that he chose me. And so he said, Dad, can I use the car? I'm going to take Janine and go downtown Colorado Springs and get her a dress. So we did. We went down there and he got me a dress and we went to the dance that night. And there was a photographer on a balcony overlooking the sunken formal ballroom. And he shot a photo of Lance and I dancing. And the next morning, it was on the front page of the Colorado Springs newspaper. And I was just as proud as I could be to be there with him.
I love that story. That's the heart of Lance Sidejohn. Lance Sidejohn, with his family, shortly after that, he went to Vietnam. He became a POW, and he was tortured until he died in a Vietnamese prison, never giving his captors any information, name, rank, serial number. That's all he gave them. His legacy for that heroism is here in Milwaukee. It's his F-4 jet. It's now in disrepair. It's in serious need of painting and restoration. We need to do this because his legacy is our legacy. He's one of us. Will you help us protect his memory? We're raising money for the renovation, and I'm asking for your help. If you want more information on Lance and a way you can donate, text the word Lance to 855-616-1620. Text the word Lance, Lance, to 855-616-1620. You get taken right to the page where you can make a donation, see some cool pictures and all that stuff.
About how much money do you think it will take to raise to fix his plane?
$50,000 to raise it, to fix the plane, to repaint the plane, to make sure the animals can't get in there any longer, to restore it to its glory. About $50,000.
Yeah, and she's the one that created it.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
His sister, who's now 70, is the one who got the plane moved there in the first place. It's her labor of love, and he really is a hero. If you'd like to help us, any donation, big or small, please text the word Lance to 855-616-1620.
Are there nice things around it, too?
Yeah, it's a beautiful green space. It's a plaza there with granite benches and an area where you can hang out. People like to stop there sometimes when they're waiting for someone to come in for their flight instead of waiting in the cell phone lot. It's beautiful. It's lit at night. Just needs a little bit more love.
What's the number again? Or what's the
855-616-1620. Text the word Lance to 855-616-1620. Boom, we send you all the information. It's easy. It's 5:13 at WTMJ.
While you rest on the weekends, we work for you. Wisconsin's Weekend Morning News with Libby Collins. The latest in news.
People usually vote for one of the mainstream candidates, or they don't vote. I'm just not sure if Kennedy's endorsement of Trump will make a difference.
Entertainment.
This is what happens when you make movies aimed at women audiences. Hollywood is like, oh, that's interesting. Let's never do that.
And more.
It is the most horrifying picture you've ever seen of your life. It's in Vanity Fair.
Every Sunday morning starting at 8 on WTMJ.
Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning, they're going to protect your water like they protect the water in my house. In my house, they take care of it. I got their water softener. I've got their RO system. My water's crisp, clean, and clear. I don't know about Brandon's water, but my water is the real deal because I've got Guthrie and Fry. Better water makes a big difference, Brandon.
My
Quality
water
products
stinks.
and services. What do you got in your house?
My water stinks.
You need Guthrie and Fry.
I know.
I'm going to hook you up. Quality products and services. I'm not hooking Brandon up, but I'm going to hook you up. Quality products and services at a fair price from a local company you can trust. Guthrie and Fry, they are the real deal. I'm serious. They are Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice when it comes to water conditioning, taking care of your water. Check them out. Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Tune in on Sundays at 10 a.m. for the AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show. Join AccuNet's Brian and David Wickert for the most up-to-date information on mortgage trends, along with timely news on the real estate market. The housing market is in flux, but the national headlines don't often fit local market conditions. Find out what's really happening on the front lines of real estate and mortgage financing in Wisconsin and make better decisions by tuning in every Sunday at 10 a.m. The AccuNet Mortgage and Realty Show with Brian and David Wickert on WTMJ.
Save big money on your next project now at Menards. Brighten up your garage or workspaces with LED utility and panel light bulbs from GT Light. GT Light light bulbs are energy efficient, and with their easy adjustable light panels, you can direct light where you need it most. Save big on all GT industrial utility and panel light bulbs. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer for more hot deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. We do still have some pretty hefty delays along 41 southbound from Appleton all the way down past Capitol, and then again from about Watertown Plank Road all the way down through the zoo down towards Beloit Road. So give yourself tons of extra time if you have to go through that area. Southbound 43 is a bit backed up as well, basically from Locust down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. Northbound's a bit heavy out of the Marquette all the way up to Fond du Lac Avenue. And then along westbound 94, heavy out of the Marquette all the way to about Hawley Road. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, clear skies, a low of 62. Tomorrow, mostly sunny, a high of 83. Friday, cloudy, a high of 79. Saturday, cloudy, 78. Sunday, slight chance for rain, a high of 78 degrees.
Where were you when the world stopped turning on that September day?
Hard to believe it was 23 years ago that those terrorist cowards flew the planes into the Twin Towers and into the Pentagon, but it's been 23 years. Almost 3,000 Americans died on that day. In newsrooms across the country, including here in Milwaukee, it was a very pretty fall morning, and everything changed. This is what it sounded like here at WTMJ on September 11th, 2001.
In 16 years at WTMJ, I literally said breaking news thousands of times. This was not just a breaking news story, but probably the biggest story we would ever be covering.
Guys, excuse me a second. Jim, I'm sorry, I got to interrupt here. We got a big breaking story out of New York.
Started out as a normal Tuesday morning. The late Jim Irwin was on the air with his sports commentary.
John, we got a big story breaking in New York.
A 737 has crashed into the World Trade
Things
Center.
quickly escalated from there.
There is a gaping hole right now, and thick black smoke with flames is pouring out.
I kept my eye on the TV, and from my time in New York was able to orient listeners on what was happening where.
Thank goodness we had John Belmont there from New York, who knew the groundwork, knew what the World Trade Center was, knew the lay of the land.
The north building at the World Trade Center in New York is gone. It has collapsed. This is more horrific than any special effects you've seen in films. And I was concerned.
I knew how many thousands of people worked there and could only imagine what the death toll would be.
I think what gets lost is the total fear, the actual terror that it was, as we did not know what was going to happen next.
We got another plane crash, guys.
This is from Pennsylvania, Pittsburgh. Large plane crashes in western Pennsylvania.
I recall John and I talked about how this must be terrorism.
They want you to feel insecure in your own home. They want you to
it's
wonder.
Working.
That is. I mean,
it's working, Charlie.
It's something.
I can tell you from me.
And again, just from
over the years, I think the most satisfying thing has been just how many people trusted the station.
I'm proud of the coverage that we did that day.
And we were on almost every radio in Milwaukee that day.
We tried to provide as much information as we could and tried to make it local to how it affected us locally here in Milwaukee and in Wisconsin. And I think we did a good job of that. The state capitol, the Wisconsin state capitol, has actually been shut down, locked down.
I think it's hard to believe it's been 23 years.
Yeah, it takes me right back,
years.
though. It's like, it was traumatizing.
Yeah, it was. It was a day that Americans will never forget. That's what it sounded like here on WTMJ. It is 5:20 right here at WTMJ.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text radio to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. Right now, receive 0% financing for 60 months. That is 5 years. Restrictions apply. Tell them I sent you and get an additional $250 off your project for the last windows you'll ever need. Go to UWD.com.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
So if you're selling a $2 million home and you found yourself what you thought was a pretty good deal on your real estate commission, at say about 3.6%, you'd pay $72,000 in real estate commission. Not bad, right? Well, your Benefit Realty agent will charge you no more than $19,000 no matter what size property you're selling for the listing side of your sale. And it all comes with the full service you'd expect from an experienced real estate brokerage. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com. We've saved our clients over $19 million in real estate commission. Now, I say this because that's a pretty big number, but I also bring it up because it's always been cool for us to save our clients money. It's not about being the top volume agency. Over here, it's more about you. And at 1.9% commission with a cap on our commission for the listing side of your sale, no matter what size property you're selling, you will save substantially. This is Angela Calais with Benefit Realty, where you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Connect Chiropractic, they've got multiple locations, everyone fantastic. I go to Connect because I want to feel my best. I want to be able to golf. I want to be able to be out in the yard. I want to make sure that my back is okay, my neck is okay. At Connect Chiropractic, I get that. Voted Milwaukee's top chiropractor by Milwaukee Journal Sentinel readers, Dr. Alex, Dr. Marley, Dr. Olivia, their teams there. Absolutely fantastic. A long-term care focus on total wellness. No twisting, cracking, popping. No, it's not like that. It's much more nuanced. Locations in Tosa and in Delafield. Easy to get to. They're going to make you feel how you need to feel. It's Connect Chiropractic.
You're not just a job number as a Sidex customer. They've been family-owned since 1988, and they treat you as part of their family. Upgrade and transform your current bathroom space with Sidex Windows Siding and Bath. They have seasoned design consultants with 10 to 30 years of experience. The owner, Joe, is honoring his dad's legacy with top-tier products and expert craftsmanship. It's Sidex, the best in the business. Get a free shower door upgrade when you mention WTMJ. Visit sidexremodel.com.
He's got the red, white, blue, flying high on the farm. Semper Fi tattooed on his left arm. Spent a little more in the store.
WTMJ Cares, we are preserving the legacy of Lance Sidejohn. Lance Sidejohn is a Bayview High School graduate. In the early 60s, he graduated from Bayview, then went on to the Air Force Academy. He was a hero. He helped everybody who came into his path, including when he got to Vietnam. He was known to be someone with a very kind heart. He was a pilot in a fighter jet. And on a cold, dark day in the middle of the Vietnam War, his 52nd combat mission became his last. His sister talked to me about his struggles for survival once he crashed in the desert. November 9th, 1967, Bayview's Lance Sidejohn's mission goes terribly wrong. His F-4 crashes in the jungle, smashing into the canopy and then the floor of that jungle. He's knocked unconscious, severely injured. A compound fracture, a fractured skull, a mangled wrist, unable to move virtually at all.
For 46 days, Lance crawled through the jungle on his backside. No food, no water, no medical attention.
The elements and the animals attacked him relentlessly.
When he would awake, he would be covered by leeches, which were then attracting the rats, which began to devour his body.
After 46 days, he passed out on a road after emerging from the jungle and was finally captured.
6'2", 220-pound Lance was so emaciated that he was 60 pounds, and 80% of his body was open flesh.
He was taken to a bamboo prison in the middle of the jungle. They left him there unguarded because they thought he was so severely wounded that he was no threat to leave. He had other plans.
And in that condition, Lance motioned with a hand motion for the guard to come down closer to Lance's mouth so that he could whisper something. When the guard came down, Lance knocked him out with a karate chop, and he pulled himself backward back into the jungle. It took a village a half a day to find Lance.
Recaptured, he refused to answer their questions, refused to give in on the code of conduct.
Lance kept saying, "I can't tell you anything. It's against the code. I can't tell you anything."
Lance was beaten mercilessly, beatings that would continue the rest of his short life. The story of Lance Sidejohn is one of power, it's one of majesty, it's one of legacy. So Lance Sidejohn dies in a prison in North Vietnam, gets the Medal of Honor presented to his family after he's passed away. So part of his legacy is a replica of his fighter jet at our airport. It's a beautiful one. It points towards the sky. It's lit up at night, but it needs to be repainted. It needs to be repaired. We owe that to Lance. We owe that to the men and women that wear the uniform. If you'd like to contribute to help restore our hero's plane and legacy, it's easy. Text the word Lance to 855-616-1620. Lance to 855-616-1620. You get taken to a link that has pictures of Lance, it has his story, and it has a way that you can contribute. Any dollar amount is helpful. Please text the word Lance to 855-616-1620. Help us protect his legacy.
I think that's so worth it. I'm so glad that you're doing this. And what a wonderful sister to create
she's
that
wonderful.
To create that monument for him and for us to say thank you to him for what he did for us. I think it's really important.
And now it's important that we step up and make sure that it looks the way that it should look. Won't you please help us? Text the word Lance to 855-616-1620. Let's check out your business headlines. The markets all ended in the green today. The NASDAQ was up 369 points. The Dow was up 125, and the S&P ended up 59 points. Annex Wealth Management, know the difference.
When you have a stuffy nose, life can be a bit unpleasant. Some live every day with a stuffy nose, and that can make life downright miserable. I'm Dr. Madan Kandula with Advent, where we are committed to eliminating your nasal breathing problems with simple in-office procedures like balloon sinuplasty, which requires no surgical cuts, little to no downtime, and can have you breathing better in less than 30 minutes. At Advent, we understand your inability to breathe freely limits your quality of life. And that's why we continue to pioneer the most advanced in-office procedures that have made our practice a global destination for those seeking to live their highest quality of life. Visit AdventKnows.com to see if you're a candidate for the balloon sinuplasty procedure. Because Advent knows when you breathe well, you live better.
Breathe well with simple solutions. Breathe well with simple solutions. AdventKnows.com.
Results may vary.
$1 in today's world doesn't go far unless you're spending it at Griffin. Because for just $1 over cost, you can buy brand new tires from us. Buy one or a whole set. This is Jim Griffin. Any major brand. We'll put you in new tires for just $1 over our cost with free tire repair and lifetime rotation. That's right, $1 over cost, and we'll even show you the invoice to prove it. So what's the catch? There's really no catch. You don't have to buy a car or a truck from us. We'd like it if you did, but our only requirement is we put them on for you. Buy one, two, or a set of 4. The $1 deal at Griffin. Available at Griffin Chrysler Jeep South, 27th Street and Jefferson. Griffin Chevrolet in the Auto Mall. Griffin Ford, Waukesha, and Fort Atkinson. 5 ways to make your dollar go further. Griffin, the buck stops here, but the deals on tires don't. $1 over cost. That's Griffin.
Not combinable with other tire offers.
Hey, Dave Dragcamp Heating. Let me tell you about these guys. Now's the time of year you want to make sure you have somebody who's really attuned to your air conditioner and your furnace, because we're going to come up into a period of time where you're going to need both. It's going to be in the upper 80s coming up here, and then at night it's chilly. You never know what you're going to need. Dave Dragcamp knows because they have worked and lived here for over 40 years. My guys at Dave Dragcamp, I just met with them, and you know what they told me, actually? Now's the time to think about making sure your furnace is in working order. You don't want to be late November, Thanksgiving, when you realize, oh, I got a problem. Then everybody realizes they have a problem. So spring, summer, fall, or winter, even when they all seem to feel like they're happening at once, Dave Dragcamp can take care of you. Whether you're experiencing a home comfort dilemma, want a free estimate on new equipment, or some routine maintenance, get in touch with the teams I trust at Dave Dragcamp Heating. Simple question, they'll help you with that too. Dave Dragcamp Heating, your comfort is their family's tradition. They've been coming to my house and protecting our comfort for more than a decade. DaveDragcamp.com.
Traffic is sponsored by SB Framing Gallery, Milwaukee's distinctive archival framing.
SB Framing Gallery in the 3rd Ward can enhance and protect your artwork for generations. Framing pieces with archival and distinctive design. Learn more at sbframinggallery.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:31. I'm John Mercure. Your top story, a diver's body recovered near a shipwreck.
I'm Julia Fellow, a local leader battling a rare disease.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We got westbound 94, heavy right out of the Marquette all the way to Mitchell Boulevard. On the eastbound side, it's backed up a bit from Highway 18 all the way past Barker Road, and then again from about 84th Street through the Stadium interchange. Going to be a heavy ride on the bypass heading southbound from Greenfield all the way down towards Cold Spring Road. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight will be clear, a low of 61. Tomorrow, hazy, cloudy later in the day, 83 at the lake, 87 inland. The current temperature right now in Milwaukee is 76 degrees.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the body of a missing scuba diver is recovered from a shipwreck. 72-year-old Patrick Kelly of Winthrop Harbor, Illinois, was diving around the shipwreck of the SS Wisconsin yesterday. Kelly was about 6 miles off the village of Pleasant Prairie coastline when he didn't resurface. His wife called the Coast Guard for help. Kelly's body was recovered this morning about 125 feet below the surface of Lake Michigan in the area of the SS Wisconsin.
Our friend and Waukesha County Executive Paul Farrow announces that he has been diagnosed with a rare type of cancer. Farrow received the diagnosis a few weeks ago after undergoing multiple medical examinations and found this out. He just released this in a video message to the public. He's already started chemotherapy, he says in the video message, and will be staying in his office while receiving treatment. Tomorrow on our show, we will have him, and he'll be live with us in studio at 4:45.
Remembrances are taking place all across the country, marking 23 years since the September 11th attacks. But many people who lived and worked around Lower Manhattan when the World Trade Center fell that day are still dealing with cancer related to the toxic fumes that blanketed the area. Over 132,000 people are part of the federal September 11th compensation fund, and it's still available for new membership as needs have increased over the years. Over 30,000 people have a certified 9/11-related illness.
Today's anniversary brings to mind one of the most iconic moments ever to happen at Lambeau Field.
Packers player Chris Gizzy, a military veteran, running out onto Lambeau Field on Monday Night Football, waving a big old American flag.
That game, it sticks with me forever.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher on Wisconsin's Morning News.
I'll never forget the cascade of emotions throughout that place of trying to get back to some normalcy, and everybody was in it together. It was a really powerful night at Lambeau.
Eric Bilstead, WTMJ News.
Signs of patriotism.
A lawsuit filed against the Kettle Moraine School District alleges board members encouraged a hostile environment that violated Title IX. The suit says the district failed to protect transgender and non-binary students after claims of discrimination were brought to its attention.
The lawsuit targets statements made by School Board Vice President Amy Richards during a July 16th board meeting on updates to the 1972 federal law.
Trans women are not women. As a woman, I'm offended by the idea that anyone thinks they know what it is to be a woman if they are not a woman.
The update clarified discrimination against gender identity is also banned. The group Moms for Liberty sued, and a federal judge in Kansas ordered an injunction blocking the rules from being enforced in schools where children of Moms for Liberty members are enrolled. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
A retired NCIS special agent is hoping southeastern Wisconsin can help him crack some more cold cases.
Joe Kennedy comes to the Pabst Theater next month as part of a new show, Cold Case Live. The retired NCIS special agent will dive into some of America's most notorious unsolved murders.
We're estimating there's somewhere between 280,000 and 340,000 unsolved murders.
Kennedy tells Wisconsin's Midday News he hopes his tour, combined with input from the audience, helps solve some of those. It's something smart to say if you're promoting a show, but do you really believe throughout this tour you are going to solve some cold cases?
I absolutely do, Jessica, without a doubt. Today, the public is more involved in cases than ever before.
Kennedy has solved hundreds of murders over the years. He says it's almost addictive.
It's almost like a drug. Once you start working cases, it's like a game of chess. It's a challenge.
Jessica Tai, WTMJ News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all sports desk. Brewers look to make it 2 in a row today. They're in San Francisco. Coverage begins at 8:10 here on WTMJ. And the Packers begin the practice week today with Malik Willis taking the bulk of the reps at quarterback. It's Colts at Lambeau on Sunday afternoon.
TMJ Forest meteorologist Kristen Gershane joins us live in studio next. Citing Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:35.
WTMJ's Greg Matzik here for Holiday Automotive in Fond du Lac, the destination for Wisconsin's best 2024 closeout sale. It's where to score deep closeout savings on favorites from Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC. Get more for your trade and discover car buying that makes fans of drivers from all over the Badger State. Fans like me. Fun, simple, and pressure-free car shopping is the way it works at Holiday. Their transparent, simplified pricing and buying approach lets you relax and focus on finding the one that's right for you, then pairing it up with enticing, money-saving incentives and offers to lower your bottom line. I've driven with Holiday a long time. The team culture, passion for excellence, and friendly, upbeat atmosphere is real. It wins fans and has earned them top-ranked status as Wisconsin's #1 Buick and GMC dealer per 2023 Buick and GMC Zone sales records. Find yours, discover the difference, and drive it home today from Holiday, Chevrolet, Buick, and GMC in Fond du Lac and online at holidaygm.com. It's worth the trip.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
Meteorologist Kristen Kershane is with us in the studio.
Hello.
Hello. So you were out at the night market, is that right?
Yeah, we're live at 5 and then again at 6 for the night market.
We're inside here, so how is it outside?
Oh, it's so nice.
Yeah?
It's really nice outside. It's not humid. It's really comfortable. We're in the shade, in between the buildings here in the night market, so it's perfect.
Do you like being out and about?
I love it. Yeah. Well, when the weather's good. Okay. That's, big asterisk. I only like it when the weather's good.
So I saw you out yesterday, was it, right? At the West Dallas Farmers Market?
So we were at the West Dallas Farmers Market at noon, and then we were in Waukesha for their last tribute concert series. There was a foreigner tribute band.
Yes, we saw that guy with the beard. Remember that?
Yeah.
And the long hair?
Yeah. You guys, I worked in like 7 different foreigner song titles into my weathercast.
Oh, that is fantastic.
So that was fun. And now we're out at the night market. So I'm super happy I'm getting to be out and enjoy all the nice weather.
It's a good day to be out. Hurricane Francine looks like it got big, and did it come ashore?
It did. It officially made landfall like 30 miles outside of Morgan City. Made landfall as a Category 2 hurricane, so it did strengthen enough to become a Cat 2 before it made landfall. So now it will continue to move inland. Lots of rain coming with this, plenty of wind. When hurricanes make landfall, they tend to produce tornadoes as well. That's kind of a secondary threat. And then the storm will work its way sort of up the Mississippi, bringing a lot of rain with it. Unfortunately, the rain doesn't make it.
Oh,
here.
It doesn't get here?
Okay.
Right? We need rain.
Yes.
We need rain so badly.
Yes.
Oh, when I was up in Door County, the grass looked burnt.
Yeah, that's how it's getting here.
Yeah.
And there's next to no rain in the forecast for the next week or so.
So it made landfall between Houston and New Orleans, right? Did it? No place is a great place if your home's in the path, but it kind of hit in a place that maybe there's minimal damage, it looks like.
Yeah, and so I don't know a lot about Louisiana, but what I do know is that it's pretty swampy when you're close to the Gulf of Mexico. And so I don't think that area is overly populated. Once you get over by New Orleans and those places, plenty of people. But in the area that it made landfall, I mean, we'll see what happens once we get some information coming out of this area. But hopefully that 5 to 10 foot storm surge is in a rather unpopulated area of Louisiana. But again, we're always getting more information after, right?
Yeah.
And you lived in Florida. Did you cover any hurricanes while you were down there?
Yeah.
You did?
Plenty of hurricanes. Yeah, I got to fly with the hurricane hunters once, which was really cool. It was a very minimal storm, thankfully. It was not a big, crazy storm. But we were out for like 8 hours in this hurricane hunter plane, flying so close to the surface of the ocean. It was incredible. It was crazy. And then while I lived there, Hurricane Irma made landfall. So I went through and worked through Hurricane Irma, which was a Cat 3, I think, when it got to us in Fort Myers. So that was crazy. But yeah, the tropics.
Irma was a tough one for a lot of people there.
Yeah, it was.
So I guess our forecast is kind of boring, but it's kind of really nice.
It's kind of really nice.
So lead us through maybe beginning tonight.
Okay, so tonight, clear 61, our overnight low, pretty comfortable. Tomorrow, lots of sunshine. We will see clouds late, and those clouds that come in late tomorrow will actually be the cloud shield from Francine. So the clouds from that system will make it here, just really not the rainfall. So high clouds with us into Friday, around 80 for a high as we end the week. Saturday, partly to mostly cloudy, 79. Sunday, we could squeeze out a couple isolated showers, but I do not think that it would be much. Still in the low 80s, and we'll start next week partly cloudy, low 80s continue.
All right. Pretty
Still
good
summer.
stuff.
Yeah, right? Soak it up while it's here.
Are you
Enjoy
buying
the night
anything out
market.
there or no?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
It's the last night market, right?
I haven't been to one yet this year, so I was so excited actually that I got this assignment. I was like, yes,
let's go.
Yes.
Oh, we saw you out there at the baby. What was the baby saying?
The baby was
So cute. Yes.
Little Theo, he was adorable.
He kept wanting to talk to you as you were walking away.
He was great. He just wanted to talk about his food.
Oh, that's
he was
sweet.
so cute.
That's
Don't we
so
all?
sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. It's dinner time.
Meteorologist Kristen Kershane, always good to catch up. Thank you. This was such a treat for us.
Thanks, you guys.
This is so nice. Hey, coming up, Mark Tauscher, the Packers Hall of Famer. Would Tausch like to go to Brazil? Maybe we start with that question. Tausch and Brazil. Mark Tauscher with us straight ahead on WTMJ.
If you missed this,
I just think it's a terrible thing and it's unethical. If you're in the position to interview the President of the United States, you need to ask him legitimate questions, not stuff that's provided.
Or this.
And we know it may, if they come on, it may be the last time they ever come on. And that's okay.
That's okay. That's right. If the White House gets pissed off because I don't ask their questions.
Probably they will.
And they say he's never going to be available again. Okay, at least I can go to sleep at night knowing that I did my job the right way.
Yeah, I mean, it stinks, but sure.
I could live with that.
Yep.
Check out Wisconsin's Afternoon News, the podcast.
Quality roofing, siding, and window manufacturers offer extremely solid warranties.
But you have to make sure that the contractor you hire will outlast them and be there to support you. Right, Dad?
Hi, I'm Randy Miller from All Right Home and Remodeling. You can trust that our second generation,
third generation,
fourth generation,
family-owned company will be here for you and your children and their children.
and their children's children.
Learn more at ALLRITE remodeling.com.
John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. When it comes to your investment and retirement planning, a simple checklist just might help. Is your financial advisor a fiduciary? How are they at tax planning? What about estate planning? Can they help make sure your legacy plan follows your wishes, or are they just trying to sell you something? There's a real difference between financial advisors. That's why Annex Wealth Management urges you to know the difference. It's right there on their website with the Know the Difference checklist. I've been on that website lots of times. I've been with Annex for more than a decade. Annex is local, independent, and part of the community that matters. Their investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning teams are all based right here in Southeast Wisconsin. It's financial planning at every level. Annex Ignite, Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client. They'll meet you where you're at. Visit AnnexWealth.com, click the Get Started button, schedule your own appointment today. That's Annex Wealth Management, locations throughout Southeast Wisconsin, Northern Illinois, Florida, or always as close as your computer. I trust the guys at Annex. Know the difference, Annex Wealth Management.
Can a local bank provide all the big bank services with the friendliness of a small-town neighbor? Waterstone Bank has been doing it for more than a century. This is your Waterstone Bank, and we're invested in the community, supporting education, women's and youth programs, and honoring our brave veterans and frontline heroes. We're at the heart of it all. Welcome to your Waterstone Bank.
Welcome back, Susan. How can I help you today?
Learn more at WSBOnline.com. That's WSBOnline.com. Member FDIC.
No matter what your timeline is, you deserve a journey to paradise with Fox World Travel and Royal Caribbean. When you get the craving for sunshine, poolside fun, and ocean views for miles, there's no reason to hold back. Make the most out of your time with an all-in-one cruise vacation. Let a Fox World Travel cruise expert save you from the daunting task of choosing from ships, ports, and staterooms. And visit foxworldtravel.com to plan your next cruise vacation. That's foxworldtravel.com.
Traffic is sponsored by Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield. Visit holtebeck.com.
Holtebeck Eye Center in Brookfield is excited to welcome Dr. Nausheen Abbas to their team. Dr. Abbas is an ophthalmologist and cornea specialist. Learn more at holtebeck.com.
There's only one store that gives you every possible choice in diamonds.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Let's get where you need to safely with Debbie Lazica. Hey, Deb.
Hey, Julia. Southbound on 43. We got a little bit of a backup from Hampton down to Capitol, and then you'll ride the brakes from Locust down through the Marquette interchange and over the high-rise bridge down towards the KK River. By the way, as you're heading past the Marquette, there is also a broken down vehicle off on the right shoulder. Not in traffic, but it's just adding to your headaches. Northbound coming out of the Marquette all the way up past Fond du Lac Avenue is going to be a bit tight as well. Westbound 94, 17th Street all the way through to about Mitchell Boulevard, going to be heavy. Eastbound slow from 84th Street to 35th. And then on 41 southbound, heavy from Silver Spring down past Capitol Drive. You're back on the brakes from about Blue Mound Road all the way down through the Zoo interchange to about Cold Spring Road. Hey, while you're out navigating the roads as quickly and safely as possible, if you see something we should know about, call the WTMJ Hall Volkswagen traffic tip line at 414-238-9329. I'm Debbie Lazica with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
He wore the jersey.
Schemes are great. Great players are better.
And now he's breaking down every play with his trademark flair.
I feel like I'm a smart person most of the time, but there's some things I just don't get.
It's time to get caught up on the green and gold with today's Insider.
If you look at this play, what we're trying to get is a seal here and a seal here and try to run this play in the alley.
Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher.
He is Packers Hall of Famer Mark Tauscher with us. Tausch, thank you so much for being with us on Wednesdays.
It's my favorite day of the week, Hump Day.
Yes. Hey, let's talk about the trip from Brazil. We're going to get into the quarterback situation and all of that, but as a big guy flying on an airplane, what's it like if you have to go 12 hours, almost 12 hours on an airplane to South America, and then you got to make the trip coming back in the middle of the night? Would that be not fun for you?
Yeah, it sucks. And even with, I've went overseas, and I don't know if I've done a 12-hour trip, but even in those pods, the pods are great. You get to kind of stretch out. And you can get a little sleep. It's obviously a lot better than just sitting in your normal seats. And it sounds like most of the players had pods. But for big people, 3 or 4 hours about where you want to be. They did it. They made it through, and they're back. And I'm sure, the result wasn't what they wanted. But, yeah, there's no – I don't know how much sleep or how comfortable any of the linemen on either side of the ball would have been, because flying sucks anyways, and especially with a flight that long. But at least if you get potted up, it's a little bit better.
And to be a fly on the wall to see what's going on with, seeing what's going on with the quarterback that was injured on the flight back. What were you thinking about when you saw that live?
Well, obviously, when Jordan took the shot at the end of the game, there was so much uncertainty. And, we did our post-game show, and it was all about what happened to Jordan Love, because, if he is going to miss a substantial amount of time or the season, we were all freaking out because the chances of the Packers having a great year drop off big time. And then the news came Saturday afternoon that it was an MCL. He's going to be out for a little bit. And then Matt LaFleur comes and says this. So you kind of go through that wide range of emotions where you have the worst case thoughts, and then all of a sudden, where a couple of weeks ago, if you said he's out 3 to 6 weeks with an MCL, you'd have been, oh, man. But then when you can kind of get perspective that you hopefully only misses a couple weeks, you start looking at how can we find a way to win a couple games while our quarterback is healing up. So you kind of go through that wide range of emotions, and you hope for the best. And I think in this instance, I think the Packers and Jordan Love got the best end result they could, because it looked a lot worse than that on the field in Brazil.
Mark Tauscher's with us. So, Tausch, take us inside the locker room, because I think as fans we have a different perspective. We're bummed a little bit, and we think about the next week. But when this is your livelihood and it's your leader and you see that he's hurt, what's it like in the locker room as you try to rally and seek information?
Yeah, I mean, guys are all, they're obviously just as intrigued about how long Jordan's going to be out, and you kind of go through that process. And then today I think it's really important for Matt LaFleur and the coaches to kind of set the standard. And it's definitely going to be better knowing he's going to be back, because he is the leader of your football team. And now you kind of just tighten everything up. You realize if you're an offensive lineman or a running back, I got to even make sure I'm more dialed in. I got to try and make life as easy as I can possibly do it for my new quarterback, whether that's going to be Sean Clifford or Malik Willis. What do we have to do to make this thing run a little bit smoother so that we give him a chance to be successful? That's the coaches have to really kind of hone in on that and figure out, all right, what is he good at, and how can we execute a game plan that can beat the Indianapolis Colts? So you look at it much more so like, all right, we got 1 week, and then we'll reevaluate where Jordan's at. But let's find a way, simplify a game plan, and this week is got to all be about execution of a simpler game plan and finding a way to beat the Indianapolis Colts.
Sometimes the backup can be a blessing. Like, think about Tom Brady, right? But what do we think about our backups?
Yeah, I think sometimes I would agree with you, Julia, that, yeah, it is. Tom Brady obviously took over for Drew Bledsoe, and I don't think anybody in that New England Patriot locker room thought, oh, great, we're going to win a world championship that year. So you never know. You can catch lightning in a bottle. I think for this week, this isn't, I don't think any of that, it's not the same. Drew Bledsoe was a highly paid guy. We just hope Malik Willis come out there and make some plays and not make any major mistakes. That to me, when you're a backup quarterback, especially a guy that has just been in Green Bay. I mean, we picked him up right at the end of training camp. He's only been here 15 to 20 days. So how well-versed he can be in this offense, all of those questions. But, yeah, I think you pick up a quarterback hoping that he can come in, get better, and when called upon, can do what he needs to do. So that's, I think, the hope that this team can have.
Tausch, you have torn your ACL. You've hurt your MCL. Take us inside the mental part of it when you have an injury. There's the rehab. There's the surgery. There's all of that. How tough is it as a world-class athlete on the mental side of things when you've suffered a knee injury?
Yeah, I think, it's funny that you asked that question, because if it's an ACL and Jordan's out for the season, I think he probably had those thoughts as he's flying back, like he didn't know. You almost get, when it was this case where it goes from I could miss the end of the season to, oh, I'm only going to be out a couple of weeks, you flip right into, what do I have to do to get back tomorrow? Knowing you're probably not going to get back tomorrow, but it really is, it sounds crazy, but it's a, whew, okay, now I know this is what I have to deal with. This is what because I'm going to get back for my teammates and for myself as soon as possible. So when you have a season-ending injury, you go to some dark places. When you have an injury like this, there's a time on the field, and maybe during that uncertain time that you'll have some, real question marks. But then when you get that diagnosis and you know that you can get back out on the field, it goes immediately into, let me get to work. Let's get with the training staff. I'm going to go around the clock and figure out a way to get this knee back up as quickly as I possibly can so I can get out there and play again.
Tausch, if my memory serves me right, I know you like to travel. Have you been to Machu Picchu? You've been to Machu Picchu, right?
I have.
But have you been to Brazil?
Back in March or in May.
Yeah, that's right.
I have not been to Brazil, no.
Have you been to a Brazilian steakhouse?
I have. That's the places you put the little green and red cards up, right?
Where
they just keep bringing you food.
Yes, they come around carrying all the meat.
Yep.
Do you do the salad bar at the Brazilian steakhouse, or do you say, no, I'm here for the meat?
That's a great question. I think, you hopefully, I can't remember the last time I went into one. I just remember having meat sweats when I was done. So my guess would be I probably didn't hit the salad bar. As surprising as that may be to you guys, I probably did not.
I'm thinking Julia hit the salad bar. Did you do something green on your plate?
No, I had major meat sweats too. It was terrible. It was awful.
Tausch, what about a Brazilian wax? We're doing all Brazil this segment. Have you had a Brazilian wax?
I'll let you guys handle.
Yes,
I'm going to let you guys handle that one. Nobody, including myself, wants any part of that when it comes to me.
Just don't explain what that is, please, John.
Mark Tauscher, Packers Hall of Famer. He's going to be with us every Wednesday here on TMJ. Good to have you, Tausch. Thank you so much.
You got it. Thanks.
I love how I gave the reveal and none of the other guys did. All right. Well, if you missed the show or want to listen back to our interview with Tausch or any of our other interviews, Green and Gold Insiders, we've been doing it all week. Just text afternoon to 855-616-1620. It's that easy. Just text afternoon to our talk and text line. It takes you right to our page. We also talked about a big initiative of the year, WTMJ Cares. John McCure, I have to tell you, he's been working so hard behind the scenes. He worked until 10 o'clock last night, just putting all these stories together, interviewing so many people who knew Lance Saigon, a Vietnam POW. He fought for our country and died and never gave up any of the secrets of the war that was going on in Vietnam, and unfortunately passed away in the arms of some people who John actually interviewed, who was right next to this man, this hero. From here, Bayview, graduated from Bayview High School. John is sharing a story about Lance Saigon, a memorial. It's in disrepair right now, and our station initiative is to help his family raise money to bring it back to its glory. John shared today the story of Lance in the jungle when his plane went down. He spent more than a month alone with a broken leg before he was captured between Vietnam and Laos. Just an incredible story. His sister also shared the special dance that he took her to when the family visited him during the holidays. He could have taken a date like other guys did, but he took his sister. She shares the story. It's just so amazing. Hey, Ann Sayers with Travel Wisconsin shares the best spots to go camping across our beautiful state. And Ann Flaherty with ABC News Radio did a full debate debrief, a fact check. Really good perspective of last night's debate between Trump and Harris. You can listen to it all by texting afternoon to our talk and text line. Here's your business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
Diversity Blood Research Institute plans to start construction on its $79 million expansion later this month in Wauwatosa. The $79 million square foot addition to Versity's existing facility will provide more lab space and is expected to create